Oh, my fault, guys. I never know when you guys are there. You guys always catch me off guard when I'm in my own element, man. My bad. My bad. I didn't know y'all were there. Appreciate y'all. Hope you guys are doing well. Good to see you guys. Happy Saturday. You are now tuned in to Still Knick Fans Know the Ledge. And let's see what we're doing. You know how we got to give it up. Let's see. All right. So it looks like today it's going to be sunny. It's currently 81 degrees, going up to a high of 88 degrees in the East Coast area, specifically New York. That's where we're at. That's where we're rocking. Got the morning cup of Joe or Joanne, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's looking pretty good, though. The last 2 days, the weather is, well, should I say yesterday and today, the weather looks like it's going to be pretty nice. Tomorrow's not bad either. Sunday's 86. Humidity is lower. It's been like a wet dog out there, man. But we good to go. I think we in a good spot. Hopefully everybody's enjoying this summer so far. I did tell y'all that eventually it was going to get to a point where we're going to get into the real off season where things get real quiet. And we look like we're getting there. We definitely look like we're getting there. The news hasn't been too crazy. I'm looking at Knicks X or Knicks Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and things have been quiet the past couple of days. People don't know what to do with themselves. I bet they're like, oh, I wish there was some Knicks talk. Man, what I would give for some Knicks talk right now. Wonder what Julius Randle's doing. Actually, you know who I am curious about? I wonder how he's doing and what he's up to is Dante DiVincenzo, because he's the most quiet of the bunch of guys. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, I think he just had a new baby, so I know he's not getting a lot of sleep. Shout out to Dante. Let's see here. All right, let's look at the chat and say what's up. First off, shout out to everybody who's tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, or on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Appreciate you guys. Let's see who we got. Walter Blackman in the building. What up, Walter? Salute. What's good? Hope you are doing well. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. So this is my second. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can notice anything different. Yeah, me. A little crispier. Huh? Little better looking out here in these streets. That's thanks to y'all, man. This is, I don't know if y'all could tell. Look at the crispiness. You know how we moving around. Look at that quality. Yeah, man, we got a new camera. We got us a little 4K action, so we finally can conduct business the way it's supposed to be conducted. You know what I mean? You know how I used to get mad where I'd go this way, and all of a sudden my whole thing would get pixelated. I'm like, what's going on? Next thing I know, my green screen starts to show up, and I'm like, yo, what is going on here? Look at us. We legit now, baby. We moving and grooving. Hey. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, I just want to say thank you once again to all you guys. So, as I've said before, sometimes you don't get to see it because, nothing happens overnight. Sometimes things take time. But the whole point is when you guys show up and show out for the show, your support really does matter. Whether it be just you guys tuning in or in the chat being vocal, or if you decide to contribute, if that's something you want to do when you give super chats, cash apps, buy me a coffee, whatever whatever designation it is, or become a member and join the SKF army. All of that is being used as intended. I think a lot of YouTubers, content creators have already mentioned, I mean, especially people in the Knicks space. I mean, if you're a big YouTuber that does prank videos or you have life, what do you call those? real life vlogs, a day in my life, and all that stuff. My fitness journey. All those people make money. You know what I mean? Because they it's a different level of content, and they allow you to come into their lives, and you see them all the time. So people really tune into that. But when it's like Nick content or sports related, it's a little different. And so we don't make a lot of money off of this unless I guess if you're big and you got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, maybe you do get a little bit more monetary value there. But somebody like me or some of my other fellow Nick community members, we're not making a lot of bread in here. So when we do get these contributions and stuff, we kind of got to stack our chips in order to put back. So we get into the situation and we're able to go. I already said before earlier in the year I had a plan. The first part was to get a new camera. Second part is to change some of the other surrounding things, and then also improve the mic. I mean, my mic is pretty good, but I want to get a better mic. The point is to get everything to the best of its ability, and then also eventually down the line to be able to start streaming in 1080p. Right now this is 720p, but hopefully to start streaming in 1080p, bring the video quality up. So yeah, man, it's just another step in the right direction, and I just want to say thank you to all you guys, because that type of generosity that you guys give, this is where it goes to. So appreciate you guys, and yeah, let's get back to it. All right. So once again, Walter Blackman, thank you. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Good to see you. Kerry Cox in the building. Salute my guy, Kerry. Yeah, man. What's going on, Kerry? Hope you're doing well, bro. Andios in the building. Yo, Andios. What's good, bro? Listen, let me tell you, I'll tell y'all before, man. Check out Andios NYK on Instagram. He puts up some really funny videos. He puts up some thoughtful, inspirational quotes in the morning with some nice Nick background, to kind of bring it all together. But he's also like, is a real good guy, man. He's funny, and he's been really entertaining lately, getting his bachata on and all types of stuff. I see you, bro. Yeah, man. Really good dude, bro. So please go support him. Andios NYK on Instagram. Go check him out. He says, salute, peace, love, blessings to us all. Hit that like and subscribe to the channel and enjoy the show. Appreciate you, brother. Excuse me. JJ's in the building. What up, JJ? Salute to you. He said, salute, Ron. Happy Saturday, brother. Crazy how people just want to throw Randle away. How many players average 25, 10, and 5? By the way, who's the hottest team in baseball? Our Mets. Let's go, Mets. My guy right here. JJ knows what it's about. JJ sees it. JJ understands. I don't know. Listen, I don't know what to say, man. It's just nice to see that the Mets are finally doing some stuff that we can be proud of. You know what I mean? It took a long time, like damn near the whole season, for them to start getting it going. I mean, I can't be mad at them. Listen, MLB, Major League Baseball, all y'all teams, you know what I mean? Watch out. Mets is coming. Just saying. And I heard they're going for it too. Like, they not sellers at this trade deadline. They buyers. So you know what I mean? I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And I gotta represent obviously Nick colors and Met colors too. Got the orange and blue. Got the Still Nick fan shirt on. You know what I mean? Represent. And y'all, come here. Let me tell you something. Y'all go out there and support Still Nick fans. Go get yourself some SKF merch. Don't be afraid. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it looks like. You know what I mean? You got, the three amigos right here, Ron, John, and my brother Jose. Yeah. Go support y'all if y'all can. No pressure. Anyway, thank you guys for being here and rocking. I got my guy, the Woogie in the building. What up, Woogie? He said, oh, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Ron. Have a great show, fellas. Appreciate you, bro. Always good to see you, man. Thank you. Oh, man. Show is getting off to a good start, y'all. Hey, L, damn it, in the building. What up, L? Pew pew. There you go. While y'all join, please smash the like button, subscribe to the show. Road to 3K. Here we come. I couldn't have said it better myself. We are definitely on the road to 3K, guys. And all your support definitely helps. As I've mentioned many times, tell all your peoples, man. I understand sometimes you like, it's a little weird. Let me go tell. Yeah, listen. Tell your peoples, hey, there's a cool little show on YouTube. You know what I mean? This guy's all right. I can listen to him. He's talking about the Knicks. I'm gonna show him some love, man. I mean, even if you ain't a Knicks fan like that, he's talking basketball. If you're interested, you know what I mean? Just click on it, whatever, see what it's about. Maybe you'll stay. Maybe you'll like what you see. But yeah, subscribe and support the show. Yeah, tell your friends, tell your nana, tell your grandma, tell your great aunt. I mean, your principal, your pastor. Tell them all. Tell them all. Still Knicks fans. This is where it's at. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the love and support. Really, truly. It's definitely, it helps the show. And let me see. Let me give you guys an updated number. We are at 2798. So we are currently at 2,798 subscribers on the road to 3K. So definitely appreciate you guys for all you do to help the show grow. Thank you guys. All right. Where were we? Jay from PR is in the building. What up, Jay? Appreciate you. Salute. Huh? I'm gonna start this question, Walter. I'm gonna come back to it. Okay. Allah Wise in the building. What up, Allah? Appreciate you. Hey, Glamour Nix is in the building. What's up, Glamour Nix? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. And I didn't see it when you initially said it, but I usually do go back to the shows and kind of see how the shows shake out, how everything went down. I try to go back to the chat and see if there's things I missed, because obviously, especially when the show is popping, there's a lot of people coming in and out. I may not catch everything that's going on, and I try to be as respectful of people as I can. But if I can't catch it, I try to go back later and see, was there something I missed? What were people talking about? And so I saw you say something about if you get enough courage, you might pop on the show. I saw it. I'm gonna hold you to it. Appreciate you though. Good to see you. Oh, there's somebody I missed over here. I felt like yeah. Huh. I don't know. Man, I don't know what happened. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, my thing went blank for a second. Okay, it's back, guys. All right, we good. All right, here we go. Sherwin's in the building. What up, Sherwin? Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is treating you well in life. My guy Josh, aka Uncle Fulio, in the building. What up, my guy Josh? Man, listen, Josh. I know you're just patiently waiting to see what the Knicks finish up with, but I hope you're happy with the team so far. I think from where where it started, where we've been talking about this Knicks team, how you felt about them. I think you can be a lot happier with the product. So I wonder what your thoughts are on that. Shout out to my guy 713 Gamer in the building. What up, Flicker D? He says I can't call it. You know what? That sounds about right. I can't call it either, brother. JT Riddick in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. My guy D Block in the building. What's going on, man? He says salute everyone. And my brother Ron Randle on his way to Asia. I believe him and Terrence, man, go over there for Skechers sneakers. Hey, possibly. Listen, they got that deal. They got to do what they got to do to continue to get that bread. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll come out with the Randall 22, I don't know, 2025s, something with some type of robotic look and crazy sketches. Maybe they light up or something. I don't know. Hey, we try. We try a little bit. I mean, listen, once again, y'all, if y'all don't get that Still Nick fans merch, you know what I mean? Huh? 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 Not too bad. You know what I mean? I kind of look like Denzel Washington with a hat on if you squint your eyes. Maybe? No? Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, definitely go support the show and get some merch if that's what you're into. You don't have to get clothing. You can get, they got teddy bears, you know what I mean? We got some cups and stuff, and we even got bumper stickers. Get yourself a mouse pad. Oh man, my guy Double A in the building. What up, Double A? Appreciate you. Good to see you. He says, salute my brother Ron. Blessings to you and yours, mi gente. Aha, my brother. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to my guy Dwayne Dennis in the building. What up, Dwayne? He said, congratulations, Tom Tibs, on your contract extension. I didn't fully understand his first few years, but he's earned it. Also, Jay Randle deserves to run with this team. He's also earned that right. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Look, my whole thing is I don't want to just get rid of Julius Randle just to get rid of Julius Randle because one executive or one person in the organization feels like he may not be a good fit with what they're building. I can't see that. You got to show me that first before you just cast aside somebody that's been here for multiple years and came here when nobody else wanted to come here and has been through the dog days and all these different coaches. Like, you don't. It's one thing if he wasn't a good player or he didn't get better and he got worse, but every year he's getting better. You know what I mean? So, like, how do you, and he's an all-star. You don't just get rid of somebody just because, oh, I don't know if he's going to be a good fit. No, it's got to be more than that. If it's money, if you feel like he wants more money than you can afford, or you feel like his price tag is not worth his production, that's one thing. But not just because somebody thinks they're not going to be a good fit. I'm not rocking with that. That one's kind of, you got to miss me with that one. That's a little loose with the take. So whoever that executive is, I hope you come to the table in a meeting with more than just that opinion. You better come with some facts. You better show me, well, listen, this is how Julius plays with OG on the court and, passing the ball. I got to see, you better come to the meeting with that type of stuff. Don't just hit me with the your own conjecture about, I don't know. No, there's got to be more. Now, for a guy like Julius, he deserves that much at least. You know what I mean? Yes, it does. Try to tell him. My mug's over there because I got my iced coffee. I got to drink a lot of iced coffee, so I can't put that in my little mug. I'll have to fill that mug up like 3-4 times. but I hear you. The coffee does taste a lot better out of that still Knicks fans mug, Boogie. I agree with that. Yes, it is. Thank you, Al. My guy Jigga Man Porto in the building. Positively my favorite early AM morning content creator. Positively. You know what I mean? Get you right, get you in good spirits. Really, listen, I keep telling y'all, man, I hope you take heed to my words. We all go through stuff in life. All right. Nobody's going to have a perfect day. And, you're going to have good days and bad days. But why not try to make the day as good as you could possibly make it? Why not try to turn that frown upside down and get something to make you smile about? Tune in to Positively Porto, 9 a.m.s, Monday through Friday. Show him some love, and he'll show you that love back. Really good dude. Really good show. Support. Only on YouTube. Well, I mean, possibly on X as well, Twitter, maybe Instagram. I don't know about all that. Anyway, shout out to my guy Kareem Grant in the building. What up, Kareem? What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. Good to see you. Hope the family's doing well, bro. You can't get away this time, Sam. This week I see you early. All right. Listen, if you want to come on and chop it up, the link will be available for you. Don't be running away, my guy. I tried to get the link to you. I couldn't see. That chat was popping that day. We had it. We were clicking up. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I got you. If you are available, appreciate you, bro. Hope you're doing well. King Ribby in the building. Salute, King Ribby. Good to see you, brother. Let me see here. Okay. I think I got a lot of people. Chef NYK in the building. What up, Chef? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Just Knicks in the building. What's good? Salute. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Bo Ismail is here. What's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We got Vaughn Allen in the building. I'm always curious about you, Vaughn, because you are a loyal supporter to the show. You can't always pop in, so I'm assuming you get busy. I'm always curious about what you got going on, man. I hope everything's good. I hope your family's doing well. Good to see you, bro. Johnny Davis in the building. What's going on, Johnny? Good to see you. The Kelvinator is in the building. What up? Hope you're doing well, brother. My guy Ivory 10 is in the building. Salute. Said Randle is the only Knicks looking to get other open shots. He assisted Reggie Bullock and Evan Fournier more than any other Knick. That is true. I mean, the Evan Fournier thing was a little different. It was kind of by design. They had that two-man game that was worked into their offensive sets. But I hear you. It is true. I mean, it's like he's still Julius Randle. He could have just did whatever the hell he wanted to do anyway, right? And that's how some people think he is. But Randle's not a selfish player. I will say that. I mean, and he's been a really good teammate. I don't want to get into the whole Julius Randle train. You know, I've done it multiple times. There was a time where I felt a certain way about his game and his effort, but it was never, you know, I didn't think he was a bad person. I thought he couldn't control his emotions. I thought he got into a lot of trouble with his emotions, getting technical fouls and picking up stupid fouls, and then, you know, kind of zoning out and only thinking about himself in the moment. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, he didn't recognize what was going on the court or how his teammates were being affected, stuff like that. But that was, listen, guys, that was like 2.5 years ago. Like, time flies, and Julius is not the same person. Not only is he not the same person, but he's gotten help to deal with his emotions. He had an you know, at that time he had a lot going on. He had a new baby. He had a young son already, and then a new baby, and there was a lot going on in life. And then your game is not necessarily where you want it to be. You're struggling. The fans are getting on you. It was a lot going on, and he just didn't have a great grasp of his emotions during that time. He has improved so much. We've seen all the videotape. You can ask the whole coaching staff. He's much better with the coaches. He's much better as a teammate. He does all these different things to kind of support his teammates now, off the court and on the court. Like, he's a totally different person. And I just think that that's where we got to look at him. Let's forget all that other negative stuff and look at who he is as a man. And outside of that, let's not forget that each year he's getting better. And he doesn't have to continue to get better. It's, you know, it's a tough bar to keep going up, you know. But if you're already good enough, if you're already an all-star, he sticks around there. That's all we can ask. So I don't know. Like I said, if the Knicks decide to make a move with Randle, it better be for the right reasons. Don't just get rid of somebody, because you're going to bring somebody else in here thinking that that's the answer. And if he ain't the answer, you are never good. This organization will, after all of the good stuff they've done, they trade Julius Randle, they bring somebody back, and that person don't work out, they are never going to live that down. That one move, one mistake could ruin all of the good cachet they've built up because of all of this positive things that they have formulated with this team. Like, because bringing in the wrong person could mess up your championship, direction. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, you know, I've turned into Team Julius. Josh Hart's my favorite player on the team. I love Jalen Brunson, but I'm starting to become Team Julius. Like, you know, I feel like I got to stick up for Julius because people are forgetting. It's okay though. It's all right. Coach Sire in the building. What up? Salute, salute, salute. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. Double A says Randle ain't going nowhere. He's Dolan's guy. Plus, he's Rose guy, Tibs guy. Team loves Juju. Sorry, he ain't going. Dolan might fire execs. I hear you. Or fire the exec that said that. Yeah, I hear you. Andio says facts. Ron, last time I checked, we were positive when Julius Randle was on the court with OG. Yes, yeah. Look good to me. We just gotta see it. You know, that's the problem. We just haven't seen it. Shout out to my guy Sherwin. He says double. I think he's talking about what he. Okay, with double A. I got you. Craig in the building. What up, Craig? Good to see you. Appreciate you as always. Always, bro. Always. I always support my brothers. Appreciate you. Hey, yes, keep smashing them hearts. You know what I mean? YouTube likes that type of stuff. Please smash the hearts, hit the like button, show your love and support for the show. Once again, guys, everything you guys do, to support, whether it be monetarily or just being vocal and in your way in the chat or just tuning in and watching. I can't tell you how important it is to the show, and we appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. But once again, for those who may not know, especially the newcomers, hit that like button. It looks a little something like this. Yes. Please continue to show your love and support. It's very important. East Blue Drew in the building. What's going on, East Blue Drew? Good to see you. He said Randle gonna show the haters next season. Yeah, I'm with you. Just got to give him some time to cook. It's got to give him some time to cook. And once again, we got to be patient with him. He's coming off of injury, guys, so he might take a little bit to get comfortable. We already saw it this year. He was coming off an injury. He struggled in the first, month or so of the season. It took about 3 to 4 weeks before he got going. And once he got think about that, guys. This is what I want y'all to understand. Once again, I'm not trying to say Julius Randle is the best thing since sliced bread. What I will tell you, though, is a healthy Julius Randle is one of the best players in the league. And as far as ability goes, he is one of the best players in the league as far as his ability. He can do everything out there in the court. He can defend, he can score, he can rebound, he can assist, he can do everything. Now, I know when I say that, some of y'all like defend, you know what I mean? Julius can defend. It's always about his effort. It's never about can Julius defend. You guys all know that. If you're a real Knicks fan, you know Julius Randle can play defense. You've seen it. It's just effort. He just has to give it on the defensive side. It's a lot of it's tied up into offense. So, but I will say last year he started to get a little better because the thing with Julius is I think he's adapting to the fact that his team is good now. He's got better players around him. He's not the number one option, but he's got guys around him that are really good and they have a different mentality too. And they hustle and they work. It's a benefit. It's a benefit. I'm telling you. Just keep watching. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Like he struggled the first three to 4 weeks of the season, right? He only played, I think it was 43 or 44 games, something like that. And he still became an all-star, right? He still finished all NBA. Think about that, guys. He struggled the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season. And he played 40 something games. And he still finished an all-star. Julius Randle, y'all. Trying to say it. Randu in the building. What up, Randu? Salute. Appreciate you. Michael Sharp is here. Michael, what's going on? He said, what up, Ron? One of the best Knicks shows on the net. Let's go. I appreciate you, Michael. Thank you for being here and tuning in, man. That's the type of stuff. I can't tell you how great that makes me feel. And I'm sure, when we do the show on Mondays, when John or Jose are around, you know what I mean? That they love that too, man. We appreciate it. My guy, Long Island Sound, is in the building. He said, who traded Randle? And salute to you, bro. That's a stupid effing idea at this point. Yeah, listen, once again, guys, I said before, if you're going to do it, there better be a reason behind it. And I know Knicks fans don't want to hear that, but I'm going to keep it funky. We're not the business. The business got to be a business. And if they feel, like I said, that Julius Randle, I'm not saying that's going to be the case because Julius has always supported the team. He's always taken discounts. He's basically left money on the table multiple times for this team, right? But if Julius says, listen, I've already done that. This is what I want. And if the Knicks say, damn, we can't really go there. We can only go here. And Julius's agent is like, nah, this is where we want to be. That's an issue. And if you can't come back from that, you got to make a move, right? That's one. Two, if Julius says and his agent says, this is where we're at, this is what we want, and then the Knicks look at it and say, nah, B, you Julius Randle, we love you. You an all-star. but you're not Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown. We ain't giving you that money. I'm not saying that's what he's asking. I'm just saying if they feel his value isn't what his agent and he sees himself as, that's another fundamental issue. So it's one, can we pay you what you think you deserve? And if we even, they might agree, okay, you do deserve that, but can we pay it? That's one. Two is, are you saying you're worth more than we think you're worth? And maybe we have a fundamental issue with that. So those are the two different things the Knicks got to worry about. But as long as everything else is cool, then that's it. There's no reason to trade Julius, in my opinion. But if those two things don't add up, if one of the two, then the Knicks might have a decision to make. And, as fans, we got to understand it. We don't want to see that type of stuff, but we've already seen the Knicks are starting to get to that point. Well, not starting. They've already been there. Remember before, we were just watching everything, the development happen and things coasting along and, this guy needs more minutes. This guy needs more minutes. Yeah, it got to a point where the Knicks start to say, we've seen your minutes. There's no more minutes for you. We got to get you out of here. So, it's the evolution. It's building a championship team. Sometimes you got to make some hard decisions, but they better be smart decisions and right decisions. Shout out to Animal Lex in the building. What up, Animal Lex? Appreciate you. He says, salute everyone. Ron, it's going to be difficult to replace iHeart. People don't understand the things he did on the court that Mitch doesn't do. That's fair. That's fair. I would agree with that. That is fair. But I will say this. You got to kind of adapt to certain things, right? So let's not forget, yes, iHeart is really good at kind of helping, make the offense flow. He's a facilitator as well in his own right from that big position, which is great. But you got a team full of people. And so if you know that he was a big piece of that and what he did help the team, you got to start to teach Mitch how to do that stuff. I'm not saying he's going to have the vision that iHeart did and do his own independent thing. But what's the problem with putting Mitch at the top of the key where iHeart was, right? And seeing if he could do a little something. But if he can't do a little something offensively, just use him as somebody that can get the ball right here, look at his side, see what he's got. And then if he's got the open man, he can dish backdoor if somebody's going backdoor. He may not do it as slick as iHeart does it, where iHeart can just boom, you know what I mean, or whatever. He might have to actually turn his body, but if he does it quick enough, he can still get a bounce pass into the spot because not everybody's iHeart. Other people do things differently. He can bounce pass it into a spot and get a nice open room or decoy stuff. Like the same stuff you ran with iHeart, Deuce cuts to the basket or some other wing cuts to the basket, don't pass it to him. But the defense thinks there's a possibility that you will pass it. They follow him. The other guy maybe on the corner flashes to the spot where the guy left from, and then Mitch can make the quick pass there. There's just different things they can figure out. Plus, I think the other thing that comes out of this as well is not for nothing, but Julius Randle's coming back. Julius Randle averaged 5 assists a game before he got hurt. Having him back is going to help. It's going to help the ball movement. All right. The other thing too is we got Mikal Bridges now. Mikal Bridges is so. This is weird, right? I'm going to say that Mikal Bridges is on this Knicks team will be more of a willing passer, right? On the Nets, he had to be a scorer. The Knicks will score if we need him to score, but I think he'll be more of a willing passer. So that might be another facilitator that you got. Whereas when Dante's in the game, we need instant offense from Dante now, and we're going to be expecting him to shoot. But Mikal can be in a situation where he's just trying to move the ball and find different, nooks and crannies to pass the ball to people and get guys open as well. So I'm just saying, like, when one thing leaves from a team, you got to look at how guys adapt, how the system adapts, and what players' roles change into. So we're gonna miss him, but I think we can kind of make up for it. And sorry, I got all of a sudden now the iced coffee hits me. I thought I was good. I thought I was rocking. Congestion junctions never fall behind. course, as I say that, you know what I got to do? I got to drink more iced coffee. I mean, who would I be? That's okay. I'm a creature of habit. Don't judge me. All right, where are we? So JM3 in the building. Salute. What's good? Okay. All right. So hold on. Wait, I see some stuff here. All right, here we go. Coach says Randle will give up on Platts, and this isn't from 2 years ago. It's from the Magic January that everyone wants to think about. Points. I'm like Platts. Points. That's what you meant to say, right? And I agree with you on that. He'll do whatever the team needs. He's not Randall's not selfish. I'm telling you guys, he's not. All right. So Vaughn says Randall puts forth max effort on the defense, and Knicks can be a top 1-2. Yeah, I agree. You know, and I really think the Knicks are going to go for that, guys. I really think the Knicks said, "Listen, we got some beast over here. Let's just go in. Let's become the best defensive team in the league." So that's the thing. I was like, the Knicks might be trying to become the best defensive team in history. I'm not saying they're that good. They could be good though. But why not become the best defensive team in the league? Go for it. Double Julius Randle is one of the better man-on-man defenders in the NBA. He is one of the worst help defenders. He is the opposite of iHeart. Fair. Jay from PR says, if I remember correctly, when the Knicks had that nice run with Randle, we also had iHeart. So the question mark is still the center position. Well, remember, once again, it's all about how Tibs runs the system. The only reason why we even know of iHeart doing what he did and Tibs put him in at the key and giving him the ball there is because Tibs put him at the key and gave him the ball there. They don't have to run that system. They can run a different set. But I hear you. I agree. iHeart will be missed. Vaughn Allen says when Devo was inserted into the starting lineup, Randle's efficiency went through the roof. That's fair. Yeah. That is definitely fair. Michael Sharp says it makes no sense to trade Randle at this level he's playing at, and for who? He if he was on another team, the Knicks would probably trade for him, right? I'm talking about. Randle's got to step up in the playoffs. It's fair, but he's just got to be healthy, man. If he can be healthy, he'll do what he's got to do. I saw that there was playing the Knick game in the playoffs versus Miami, and Randle had a hell of a freak. He almost had a triple double. I don't know. I think it's tough to continue to look at the narrative that Randle doesn't step up in the playoffs because in that Miami series, he was still hurt, mind you, but he was playing much better than we've ever seen him play in the playoffs. I just think a healthy Randle will. I think he's gotten over the shell shock of what Atlanta did to him a while ago. He's done with that, and we didn't have any options. Now there is options, so you can't stop Julius Randle with all these other people on. You can't stop him. You can only try to slow him down. But there's too many options now. Mets, Knicks fans, let's go in the building. He said, how about our Mets, Ron? Can't wait till Knicks basketball. I feel it's our time now. It's about time. It's about time, man. Orange and blue skies. I'm with it. I'm with it. All right, let me put this out there in the chat and open it up for anybody who wants to jump on. Let's chop it up. Invite. Here we go. Okay, the link is in the chat. If anybody wants to chop it up on the panel, appreciate you. Okay. Let me see here. Peter. Yeah. Peter Rodriguez. Okay. People need to stop this trade. Julius think he's an all-star. Yeah. I get you. Don't just throw guys away. You know what I mean? You know that phrase, the grass ain't always greener. We gotta know. We gotta know first. Shout out to my guy Drip Moore, the preferred barber of Still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. He is in the building, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Shout out to Keith Watkins in the building. Salute, Keith. Hope you're doing well. He said greetings from the ATL. What's going on, brother? Nice. I've never been to ATL. I mean, I had a holdover one time there, but never really actually got around and moved around the land over there. One day. One of my best friends is getting married in October, so he's going to be in ATL. So maybe that'll be the moment. Kevin Taylor is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. All right. Kwiku or Kwike Ghana is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. I believe this is my first time seeing you in the chat. So will the Knicks get early games next year? Interested in following an NBA team this season, and I'm based in the UK. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see when the schedule hasn't come out, but when it does, we'll stay tuned to that. Anna Grill is in the building. Salute, Anna Grill. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. All right. Okay. They got shouted out all the new people and all the returning people. If I missed anybody, please, it's not for lack of trying. I just might have missed you. So let's get it cracking. Let me get my guy up here. Hey, Double A in the building. Let's go.
Let's do the bird. What's up, fellas? Salute.
What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well.
And you as well, my brother. How are you this Saturday?
I can't complain, man. It's another Saturday. We're here. The weather is beautiful, which I would expect that a lot of people ain't on here watching the show today because the weather is really nice over here in New York. It's always nice over there for you in Florida, but over here today is pretty good.
It's kind of drizzling. Is the reason why I'm here and not in my pool. So, but it's all good.
Hey, man, we appreciate you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, yeah. So I think I kind of wanted to just touch on, other stuff I want to talk about, but I did want to touch on this Randle stuff, man.
Yeah.
I know everybody's starting to, people have been talking about it, but it's like, I don't necessarily understand it unless you give me some, I don't like the reports of saying that Randle's not a good fit for the team when we saw that for the most part, this team was already together with Randle and they were winning. So I don't understand that. Like, if you're going to say something, you got to give us, some of us Knicks fans are a little smarter than that because we've got a track record of seeing when the guys were together with OG that they were winning basketball games with Randle out there, and he took a back seat. He was moving with the team. He wasn't being super aggressive, asking for the ball. He wasn't cutting into people. He was filling a role. So I'm kind of wondering, is there more to the story, but they just don't want to say it? Like, is it that, the Knicks maybe feel like they don't want to pay Randle all the money he's worth? I know they can't say that publicly, but don't act like we don't know, because something doesn't seem right. Something don't add up. I'm not saying they're going to trade him, but I don't know.
I think some fans, Ron, are just hooked on this Villanova Knicks thing. And let me explain something to y'all. If y'all thinking that the Villanova boys alone are enough to get us the chip, you're hardly mistaken. Okay, you're talking about guards and small forwards, but you still got to play that power game, man. You still got to have that beast that can get you. And it was no other point evident of missing Randall than that Indiana Pacer playoff, okay, series, okay, because if we had Randall, they would have had a lot more to worry about than Jalen Brunson. I mean, they had to worry about Jalen Brunson alone, really, on offense, and they couldn't stop him. So imagine if he had his tag team bruiser Brody teammate Randall, to pass the ball to. And I mean, we would have destroyed the Pacers. So I'm not worried about that. But I just think that, the people that are spouting this Randall is going to be traded is everybody but the Knicks. You know, everything you're hearing is everybody but the Knick organization. His haters and his other people that they think that they know more than Rose and more than Tibs and more than everybody. But, you know, it's a known fact that Julius Randle is Dolan's one of James Dolan's favorites on his team. It's a lot to be said, and it's deserving because no other superstar wanted to come here. I mean, that year that we all thought we were getting KD and getting Kyrie, it was nobody, bro. Nobody. The only one that would take our money was Julius Randle. And then when it was time for re-up, he did what he could to allow the team to have extra money to go out and sign a couple of players to help. That Atlanta series was totally unfair, man. It's totally unfair. You take any superstar in the NBA and you put him on his team by himself with nobody else for help and see how well they do. I
That's
mean, the
fair.
man was double and triple teamed and got the ball out of his hand, and that was it. I mean, you remember Tibbs did. He threw Rose and had to throw Rose in the starting lineup to try to get some offense to get them off of Julius, and that hurt us because Alfred Payton, yeah, he wasn't a scorer, but he was a defensive guard, and I mean, he was ahead of our defensive attack. And once you took him out of it, the series was lost. We had nobody to stop Trey Young. I mean, you're looking at Derrick Rose trying to stop Trey Young. So, he took a lot of slack for something that was totally not his fault. But look at it this way. We wouldn't even been in the playoffs if Julius Randle didn't have the season he had.
That's 100% facts. That you can't deny that. I think all Knick fans got to realize. I mean, you can hate the man, but the man played well.
And, and I
Yeah,
don't know where the hate is coming from. He's a family man. He's a team player. If you listen to Jalen and Hart on their podcast, they love him. They love Julius Randle. I mean, what's the hate, bro? The guy's a family man. He don't get into no trouble. You don't hear him in the news. You don't hear him. Oh, he's at the night strip clubs, getting on or whatever. Every training camp, he comes in tip top condition. It's not one training camp where he came in and oh man, Julius Randle out of shape. Julius Randle this and that. So I don't know what they expect from him. Besides
yeah,
the obvious, he's an all-star power forward.
yeah. That's 100%. You're right about that. That's fair. I got a couple other guys in the building with us. Bring these guys up. Got my guy Just Nicks in the building. Salute. What's
What
good,
up? What
brother?
up? What's up,
Good to
Double
see
A?
you.
What's
What's
up, my
going
guy
on?
Ron?
What's
Hey,
happening,
what's
brother?
happening, brother? And
How
I
y'all
got
doing?
my guy who was like pissed off at me. He was like, "Nah, I ain't never going up there no more, man. Forget this guy. Guy left me in the chat on. He didn't even give me. He didn't leave me on red. He didn't even read what I had to say." Sam, what up, my brother?
What's going
What's
on?
up, Ron? Salute to you
What's
guys.
happening,
Salute to
bro?
the chat. Peace and blessings. You know that wasn't the case, Unc. I had somewhere to be,
Nah,
so
I'm
you
just
good
I'm
anyway.
messing with you,
No,
bro.
you good.
I'm
I
messing
had
with
somewhere to go, so I tried to drop a little bit before I dipped out. But hope all is well with you guys.
you. Yeah,
Good,
yeah, good,
Sam.
good, 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 good. So let me go to Just Nicks. How you feeling about this whole Julius Randle stuff, brother?
Um, Honestly, I've been on both sides, but I've come to a realization that Randall came here when nobody, chose to come here, You know, people were like, "Oh, we were supposed to get Durant and Kyrie, but we end up with Randle. Like, if that was like a bad option, and ultimately it turned out to be good for us." Um, I'm sticking with Julius. I don't want to trade him for nobody. I feel like, you know, once Julius gets to mesh with these guys and we get to see what our offense looks like, I feel like it's gonna be good for us. He's not a bad defender. I feel like he defends well, kind of one on one. When it comes to like team defense, in particular, like help defense in particular, he's not that good because he rebounds for us. So of course he's not going to be as much of a help defender. But I don't know. I'm sticking with Julius, man. I feel like he's a big part in us actually winning a championship, and that's just what I believe.
I hear you on that. I mean, it makes sense. Listen, nobody's perfect, and I like the fact that there's a lot of different players in different sports. It doesn't matter if it's just basketball, but there's a lot of different players that do certain things or they have a certain persona about them, and they don't change. Like Julius is a good dude, right? But he had bad moments, right? He had
Right.
bad emotional moments at that, and he couldn't control it. So he did what he had to do to get some help to fix that stuff, and he's made changes. There's other guys around the league that do certain things that they don't change at all. Draymond Green, he is Draymond Green today. He's going to be Draymond Green tomorrow. Like, like you got to support a guy who actually has kind of looked better out there and has become, first off, we already know that even then, none of Julius Randle's teammates would say anything bad about him. Quickly wouldn't, Obi wouldn't, but we know he was kind of a certain way. And, he left Obi on the ground. He stepped over him. He didn't pick him up. We've seen it, right? But then later, we got to see, once he started to make that change, when Obi was still on the team, Obi fell down. Julius went right over, picked him up, hit him in the chest. Come on, young fella. You know what I mean? Like he started to change and realize that I got to be better. I can't be doing this. That's the whole thing about also not just being, a better person, but also being a better role model. Because not for nothing, before Brunson got here, and even with Brunson here, Julius is still one of the better players on this team. So other guys immediately.
You mute himself? I think he muted himself.
Yeah.
God damn it. I got this sensitive.
You're good now. You're good now. Oh, no, you're not.
And now
good.
I'm back. You know what I mean? No. I did that on purpose, though. It's a sensitive mic. As soon as I pass my hand by, you know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever.
You know what people are forgetting, Ron? I don't want to, because you fire, bro. You burning. It's they forget that part of his madness came from them. They were doing things in front of his kid. His kid loves his father. I mean, his wife came out and said it. The kid was just in tears because people were getting rude. They were cursing, and they were being very, very hostile towards him and his family. And that set him off. I mean, me being a father myself, that would set me off too, man. If you criticize me all you want, bro. You know what I mean? But lay off the your children, man. Have
Yeah.
some cock. So you think that way, man. He's a father and he loves his son. So things like that happen. But let's talk basketball. What is he doing for us on basketball? Is he a positive or he's a negative? And he's a big positive. And you can say that Jalen Brunson wouldn't do the things that he did and wouldn't had like slide in so comfortably with the Knicks if it wasn't for Julius Randle taking some of that load off of him.
That's fair too. So yeah, you know what? That's a really good point. I want to get over to Sam, but that is a really good point. Some people do forget that. Obviously Jalen Brunson has made Julius Randle and the rest of the team's life a lot better, a lot easier. But let's not forget that Jalen coming here and having a Julius, because when you got to carry the burden and the load by yourself, guess what happens? People start to get hurt, and then it's just you, and we get knocked out the playoffs. There's a difference. He saw when you get to have a guy like Julius Randle, to play off of the difference. We saw it. They had a couple 30-30 games, both of them, like,
Yeah.
early in the season when they were together. They look great out there. So yeah, Julius does help Jalen Brunson out as well. That's a good point. And I don't know if you guys even heard me. I probably was saying my explanation while it was happening. So you probably didn't even hear what I was basically saying. For those who might be new that are watching, I have a very sensitive mic, right? So if I put my hand right here, it goes on mute. And if I do that, I'm back. So it's very simple. Sometimes I just be talking and boom. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because I'm like, what's he talking about? He tripping? Nah.
My
Anyway,
last point,
Sam.
Brian, and the big difference, and I'm sorry, Sam, and the big difference too is, when we traded quickly, and we traded the other brother, it opened up a lot. I mean, it opened up a hell of a lot for him. I mean, that fit with Barrett and Randall just wasn't working. They both operated in the same space. They both needed the ball in a certain position, and they're both were left-handed, so it caused a lot of roster deficiency. But you notice once we put OG in there, I mean, the fit between Randall and OG was like great. I mean, it was like night and day between him and Barrett. It was like night and day. Sorry for
No, you're good. Sorry, one more, Sam. Sorry. Craig be saying stuff. Craig said, after all these years Julius has been on the team, there's no excuse for his lack of effort on the defensive end, and this is where a lot of hate comes from, as well as his bad attitude. Agreed that yes, the lack of effort on the defensive end does frustrate people, especially when you've got a defensive coach, and now we've got some more defensive minded players. However, I will say this: have you noticed that his defensive effort has been a lot better now that you got OG here? Because OG can do something that Randle can't, and makes Randle's life a lot easier. The perimeter defense is Randle's purgatory. He don't want to be out there guarding these guards and stuff, trying to help. He gets cooked. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but he's just not, that's not his forte. And so having a guy like OG out there to help him makes him better. It's the same thing when the Knicks, 3 years ago when we got the 4th seed, when we had Reggie Bullock here. Reggie Bullock and Elfrid Payton helped the team so much that guys like Julius benefited, RJ benefited. That's kind of the what. See, when you look at stuff as a Knicks fan, you just have to put things in a bubble sometimes. We used to think, damn, RJ could become Jimmy Butler or something. The way he's playing, he was playing that good defense because we had guys that were really taking up the slack. They were doing the work. Mitchell Robinson was going crazy in the interior. You had Bullock guarding the perimeter. You had freaking Payton guarding the perimeter. RG just had to fill his spot. So he looked good. Like I don't have to work as hard, but what I got to do, I can, work towards it. So he looked great defensively. When those guys start to leave, and then you got RJ roaming on the perimeter, he was getting cooked. Sometimes things will show you what's real. So, all right. Yeah. My fault. Okay. Sam, my bad. What's your thoughts on the whole Julius Randle thing?
Oh, you good, Unc. I'm just sitting back watching. I'm pretty much just, a guest being brought up to the panel. So I'm enjoying the show as you guys was talking. But for me, I'm still on the same stance as I've been for pretty much the whole summer as far as the Randle talk. I'm not really giving it too much because as we know, and you guys on the panel know, and the people in the chat, there's not many upgrades within as far as our league when it comes to that position that Randle plays. So I don't really see us making a move that's going to make us better due to at least the upgrade at the power forward position. Those guys really aren't on the market, and I'm not really seeing the Knicks making a move for one of those guys. Also, as I hinted at, on some other shows that we've had, Randle was really coming on, when we first got OG. So I would like to see with Randle, OG, and Brunson, a little bit more of that lineup because we kind of got robbed of that when he got injured with the game against the Heat. And also, like I said, you've hinted on this, Ron, just now, with the addition of Macau, Randle's really not having to work on defense. Like last year, we were having Randle, and before OG came, we were having Randle guard Giannis, Tatum, and all these guys. And we saw, like you said, Ron, on the perimeter, he will get exposed. I mean, it's not that he can't play defense. He's just not as good of a defender as an OG or Mikal Bridges when it comes to guarding these type of guys. So I think that with Randle getting a breather on defense, we'll actually see him be more efficient on offense because, you know, he would come up sometimes a little bit more sluggish on the other end because he's having to work when the plays he was working against these guys. So I think we'll see a more efficient Randle. This is he's gonna have more shooters around him as well. So we didn't really get to see Randle with that rotation that we had last year. So seeing him in the lineup with more shooters, more defenders, I think is gonna open things up for him. And we saw he was a willing passer last year. It's just that, you know, sometimes guys wouldn't knock down their shots, but now I think when you have better shooters around him in that rotation, you might actually see Randle's assist numbers go up. We already seen that he can get up there. I mean, I'm honestly, for next season, if things go as planned, I'm predicting Randle to have around probably 24. I could see him doing 24, 10, and possibly 6, depending on how the offense flows, but he's at least getting 20 and 10. The assist, I think, could fluctuate anywhere between 5 to 6, but I think we could see a bump on that for him just due to the lineup that we have around him. And honestly, I think he'll be excited to go into this year and kind of prove himself. So I don't really see him asking out. I don't see the Knicks moving him because, like you said, Ron, he's been here when nobody else wanted to come here. He was our star acquisition in free agency that one offseason when we had absolutely nobody else. So I think Randle wants to see it through. I think the Knicks front office wants to see it through, and us as fans, we're intrigued to see how this team does this year with him in the lineup.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's 100% facts. It just is what it is. This is how the nature of everything has worked out. Shout out to 5 Adam. Appreciate you in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Shout out to Prezi the boss. What's good? He said, thank you, Ron. He has to score 2. He takes plays to reserve energy. Now with OG and Bridges, he will be better. He's not going to be all defensive, but will make things easier on both ends. I agree with that. Shout out to my guy. Let me see here. There he is. Shout out to my guy, Gusto Bryant. Gustin in the building. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Salute. He said, like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Plus, smash those emojis for Ron and Still Nick Fans channel. Yes. Salute. Also, I want to shout out Joe Curry. Appreciate you, Joe. He said, well, what about Precious Achua or Jerkerson for backup power forward? So, you know what? That's a good segue into something. So, yeah, let's address that, Joe. Before I do that, let me just shout out my guy Lion of Judah in the building. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. He said, Grand Rising, Ron and panel, and blessings to the chat. Good afternoon. Shalom, fam. Salute to you, my brother. Shalom.
Shalom.
And yeah, look at this. Shout out to Saint. Saint, I want to say I've seen your name before, but I'm not quite sure. So if this is your first time being here, thank you for tuning in. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. He said Obi Toppin is better than Randle in the playoffs. Obi has been in the playoffs 3 times in 4 years and did very good in the playoffs. Yeah, but it's also easy when no one's checking for you. You know what I mean? Like, no one's trying to worry about what Obi Toppin's doing. Obi Toppin's in a situation like you gotta, and this is no slight to Obi. I think actually Obi is a much better player now. Like what we saw this past playoffs with him with Indiana, he's improving. Okay, it's still taking a little time, but he's definitely getting better. And his overall numbers for the year were pretty damn good. But he is not a factor. You know what I mean? Like a threat. You know what I mean by a threat? A threat is Halliburton. A threat is Randle. A threat is Brunson. A threat is, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Like a threat is somebody you gotta, we gotta watch what he does. Maybe have to send a double at him. You don't got to do that with Obi. Obi can go just get his, okay? And some people still ain't, trusting Obi's 3-point shot. Like he's the type of guy. It's not that he can't shoot it, but like you have to earn a certain level of respect before people really like, oh, okay, all right, he's gonna cook us if we don't do something. He's not at that point yet. He's at he can help, be complimentary, put some points up, maybe get to the basket, get a couple dunks or putbacks or whatever. Like he's just not at that level yet. So that's why he's also able to do good in the playoffs. They're not game planning around Obi Toppin. They're game planning around Julius Randle.
And Ron, not to cut you off real quick, did he even average over like 10 points in the playoffs?
This year, I think let me just double check. Because I'm curious.
That's
Now
a
that you said
crazy
it,
comment.
I think he did this time around. I think he averaged 12, but I may be wrong. Hold on, let me just see that because I like I said, I was kind of shocked when I saw Obi's numbers for this year. He's improved a lot. He's very efficient this year.
But you got to remember. But you got to remember, he's going against subs. Randall is going
Yeah,
against
yeah,
starters.
that's true too.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, for sure.
He did
Okay,
average
no,
10.9.
it was
10.9.
10.9. It wasn't 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he barely averaged 10 points, and he wasn't even a factor as far as them winning the series. It was just us getting hurt. But
Well, I mean, just Knicks, it's not really a comparison as far, and this too. It's not really a comparison when it comes to Randall and Obi because they're in two different roles as far as what they do for their teams. And then as far as Obi, he's just simply not getting the same amount of shots that Randall would get. So those numbers aren't, they're not comparable, even if you're going percentage wise.
right.
But I will say, in fairness to Obi, in the regular season, he played all 82 games. Shout out to him for that. He shot 57% from the field. He shot 40% from three on 3 attempts a game. And he shot 77% from the free throw line. And he averaged his 10 points. So,
Yeah, he played well, but I just, I respect Obi. I think he's going to do very good for the Pacers. I just don't think it's a comparable question to have.
Yeah, I feel better.
And
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was saying if we do see them in the playoffs and that matchup happens where Obi has to guard Randall, I would hope to see that comment come back up too, because Randall's gonna cook a lot of people this year. See what a lot of people Randall watched this playoffs and he see a lot of these guys. He just wanted to be out there, and I just see it on his face. I'm like, yo, when we play a lot of teams, especially the Heat, Randall gonna destroy a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
He
and
gonna
like
destroy a lot of people.
when it comes to Obi, like, and the other thing too is like I get it. Like maybe he did have some nice moments, but he's in a really good offense, guys, with a really good facilitator. And I knew Obi was going to play better being with Halliburton in Indiana. I thought they were going to have something really special out there. The other thing though is, as much as I said that he's improved as far as efficiency wise, he still only averaged 10 points in 21 minutes, right? So he's not a focal point of their offense. He's just complimentary. But in those 21 minutes, he only averaged 3.9 rebounds. He's their power forward. You know what I mean? Like, he 1.6 assists. Conversely, we already talked about it. I mean, adversely, should I say. Randall had 5 assists per game and averaged, 10 rebounds a game. Like, these are different players. And believe me, when they have to go up against each other one-on-one, Randall's going to cook Obi because it's like little bro in them. I've seen Randall go little bro in them with Anthony Davis or little bro in them with freaking Karl Anthony Towns. He be pushing them dudes all around. So he definitely going to push Obi around. This is what it is. But like I said, there's no hate on Obi. I just think that, let's not forget Julius Randle is Julius Randle, That's all. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? Not for nothing. That's a good point too, Jay. But I think that helped him. He said Obi got demoted from starter to bench in Indy. Yeah, but you know what? I think he learned from that, and I think it humbled him because he thought he was going to Indiana. He was going to be the man over there. So as soon as I get away from Tom Thibodeau and all that, it's going to be golden. No, that's not how it worked. It's not how it worked.
And I mean, Ron, it fits better for him to go off the bench anyway, because you think they're not gonna, at least how that team is constructed, it's better for Obi to come off the bench because you want to have Siakam, Turner, and now they like Nesmith more, so it's just better situated for Obi to come off the bench and get a little bit more touches.
Right, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good point. And I see. Oh, how do I get to this? Can I get to it? Postseason. Will it show up? The game log. I don't know if I could see it. I was trying to see the postseason. Oh, maybe it is here. Hold on. I may have spoke too soon. It might be here. Let's see. Yep, it's here. All right. So like I was saying, You guys remember? I'm not trying to knock the guy. I'm just saying once again, health has a lot to do with it. Shout out to Saint who said Ron Randle never transitioned his 25 and 10 into the playoffs. Well, listen, healthy Randle is different from hurt Randle. We know that, and I'm not trying to be silly. You guys know that when we battled Cleveland, right? Randle was not in the best of health, right? 2 years ago, but listen, when we played Miami in that first game of the series, he had 25, 12, and 8. I mean, what more would you want from Julius Randle in the playoffs against Miami of all teams, right? 25, 12, and 8. That tells me something. If you guys remember, he also tweaked his ankle in this series. Now, I don't remember which game it was. I think it was game 2, but I will tell you, if you remember, he still played. Like game 1, he played 38 minutes. You guys remember he re-aggravated the ankle in one of these games. I think it was game 2. Game 2, he still played 38 minutes. He had a really bad game, but he had 10 points and 14 rebounds, right? Then I told you he aggravated the ankle. Game 3, 39 minutes played. He had 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Nothing crazy, right? But then they won in game 4. He played 36 minutes. He had 24, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot well, though. He shot 53% from the field and 57% from 3. Like, I get it. You want to see him really take over, but just understand he was battling an injury, right? So this happened, then game 5, then game 6, we get knocked out. And then a couple weeks later, Randle gets surgery. Like, oh, wow, that injury was serious. We didn't even know it was that bad. So I'm trying to say, like, I think the narrative about Julius Randle not showing up in the playoffs, I think it's dead. I'll be honest with you. I think it's dead. I think it's over. I think the only reason why he didn't, I think the only reason why he didn't show up is because he was hurt. But other than that, I think Randle is fine. I'm not even worrying about that old Atlanta Julius Randle. I think that's gone. But I just want to put that out there.
His game translates to the playoffs. Okay, I could understand if he gets to the playoffs, all of a sudden he forgets to shoot or whatever. But Randle's power game translates to the playoffs. Now, if you're going to keep looking at the Atlanta series and not understand that he was all we had, in this during the regular season, we got away with it a little bit, but in the playoffs where everything keys in, all you got to do is take the ball out of Julius' hands and make somebody else beat you. And the Knicks had nobody else. So how can you get on the man about that? And then against Cleveland, he was hurt. He was even hurt more than we thought about. I mean, Stephen A. Smith went on ESPN and just blasted Randle, just tore him apart about, oh, he got to go. You got to get rid of Julius Randle, blah, blah. And then a couple of days after the season ends, the man's having surgery. We find out that his ankle was busted. He should have, quit playing. He shouldn't even play the freaking series. You know what I mean? Come on, man. It's just the hate is just terrible, dude. You know what I mean? You got to be sensible.
Real quick, Ron.
Go ahead.
To your point, Double A, this is why I love these particular players that the Knicks decided to bring to the team. These guys, a lot of guys that get hurt aren't willing to just jump back out onto the court and continue playing hard. Like what you said, when he rolled his ankle, he had 10 points and 14 rebounds. That's when we think about it in retrospect, that's crazy. And even with Brunson, when Brunson got hurt, even Josh Hart, like OG didn't have to, get back on the court. He gave us, I think he gave us he had 4 or 8 points. I can't remember. But still, he still was contributing in a game 7. And people are talking about, well, for the people who were bummed out that we lost iHeart was a big factor. But at the end of the day, in the game 7, he only had 0? Did he have 0 points in the game 7? He didn't. I don't think he scored much.
I don't know his points, but I just know he was not looking good. That wasn't his best showing for sure.
Yeah. If in a game 7, you're supposed to be a factor. I don't care if we get blown out, it should still matter that you're competing. That's my biggest thing. If you get hurt, do you still have that dog in you to still fight? Are you gonna give up if you get hurt? Are you gonna give up if we're getting blown out? Like, these are things as a fan that I pay attention to. Like, and to see these guys on our team, when they get hurt, they get beat up. Embiid was playing dirty, like pulling Mitchell Robinson's leg down, stuff like that, and we still stood together as a team, and everybody still was playing strong just to finish that series out. That's, by the way, that's one of my favorite series in the whole playoffs. I mean, that's another topic, but that series, game 2, DiVincenzo knocked down the banger, like that's historical right there. And just seeing the fight in our guys is crazy. Go
But you
ahead,
know
Brunson.
what? That's another series that if we had Julius Randle, it would have been a lot sooner because Oubre and them they were able to play off uh, whoever's playing power forward for us and
Sure.
double up on Brunson and all that. So they made it extra hard. But I mean, if we had Julius Randle, they would have had to protect the paint a lot more than they had, and that would have opened up a lot more for Brunson and everybody else. So they're lucky. They're lucky that Julius Randle wasn't playing.
You muted on.
Now that one was weird. I don't know how that one happened. That's fair. I think that you guys are totally right with regards to Julius and him being important and a factor on this team. I think sometimes we kind of overlook things, but we got to respect this game, man. Let me shout out a couple more people real quick, and I also got a super chat I want to get to. Yeah, I hear you, Saint. That was 4 years ago, but it was 4 years ago with a totally different team. So if it was 4 years ago that I'm bringing something up about, how he was doubled and triple teamed and all that good stuff, it's also 4 years ago when the negativity was when he was playing bad. So it was a lot of time has passed between then and now. So we got to look at it both ways. Shout out to Lady.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. I'm sorry.
We'll come back to you, Double A. Shout out to Lady and the Chef. What's good? Hope you're doing well. Please, guys, go support Lady and the Chef and Diva Locks. They've got, a great show called Two Knicks Chicks on YouTube. Please support them. I think they might be going live. If I'm not mistaken, it's either today or tomorrow. But I think it's today, later today, or sometimes I know they switch it up. But please show them some love, man. Great content, and you definitely enjoy how they give it up. So appreciate you guys. Shout out to Nick Yak in the building. Appreciate you. Says Sims is taking corner threes to play power forward. Our centers don't play in the corner. He must have been told to. The 2 rookie centers made the team. Yeah, agreed. Well, I didn't get the official thing about Skapintsev yet. As far as him being signed and to what he's being signed to. So you guys are going to see, because I'm about to pull up my own little depth chart here, and I don't think I put Skapintsev on it because I didn't know officially what was happening with him. I know he's supposed to, but I didn't see it yet, so I didn't put him there.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, I think he will. I think that's what they're doing. Huck Porty and Skapintsev, they're going to do like this center by, committee thing until they figure out what else they want to do. They're going to try it out, I think. But we'll see. Shout out to my guy Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat, my brother. He said Obi did so well, I didn't even have to bring him up. Well, listen, I will say this year with Indiana, Obi looked good in the playoffs. But once again, as I said before, Obi was not the focal point. It's much easier to do stuff when you can just go out and play basketball and you got to worry about people game planning for you. It's a totally different thing. But yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to him. L Dammit says, salute chef, listening while we grocery shop. Hey, then that's dedication. Appreciate you, L. Thank you. A member of Still Nick fans, by the way. Appreciate you. Okay. Agrees with you, Double A. Prezi the Boss says, honestly speaking, who can stop Drew Ferrigno when he's on his bully ball game, not settling for threes, spin move, point forward, Randle? I don't see a lot of teams stopping him. Am I wrong? I agree with you. When Julius is in his bag, as I've said before, guys, I'm not just saying it because he's a Knick. Julius Randle, as far as his ability, is one of the best players in the entire NBA. He can really do everything out there. Does he always do everything out there? No. Can he? Yes. So I got to give that guy credit. I've looked back this past couple months, and I looked back at old Julius Randle coming out of Kentucky. I looked at him with the Lakers, and I looked at him with the Pelicans, and then the Knicks, and I'm like, man, this dude's a monster. Like I can't deny the fact that this guy's got everything. We just don't always see it, but he can do everything.
And that's what I was going to say. Who can guard Julius Randle one-on-one?
No one really can. Actually,
I was waiting for someone to say something. That's crazy.
Who are you going to leave open to double team Julius Randle or to double team Jalen Brunson? The only one you can possibly leave open is Mitchell Robinson. And in that case, all Mitchell Robinson has to do is go down low. Okay, leave me open. Alley-oop all day. My only hope is Tibs can come up with an offensive plan to utilize all these pieces he got. Because it's unique, bro. When's the last time you could say both our small forward and shooting guard are excellent three-point shooters? And, Juice is good. So now you got Brunson is good. So you got 4 to 5 starters that can hit the three-point shot with efficiency. And you got 4 guys that you cannot leave any one of them open. And you can't. Who are you going to double team? That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. Like, for example, shout out to Parrish Duggar. But I'm only bringing this up because of the fact that Parrish is not alone. This is the thought. This is a thought that a lot of Knicks fans have. And I'm Mr. Change the Narrative right now. He said, love Randle, but to say his playoffs performance issues aren't true is crazy. Randle still gets spooked. Look in pressure situations. Hold on. My point is, you know what? Let me do this. Yeah. Because I just want to, context, right? I don't have all the numbers. I don't have all the facts. I just have what I see in front of me.
And it's a lot to be said when you are the man, when you are the sole person that we are going to rely on. You're the only one that can get us there. And when you got help, it's a big difference.
It's fair. All right. So check this out, guys. And you guys have all seen this. We've talked about it multiple times. Other shows have talked about it. This is nothing new. Look at this guy, Windhurst. Get off my screen, Windhurst.
Yeah, man. I hate that dude, man.
Let me freeze him. Get out of here,
Thank
Windhurst. Anyway, so this is what I wanted, and I'm pointing to the first game that I'm pointing to right now is Game 3 against Miami. Now, once again, I know this is, you guys want to say, well, this was 2 years ago. Well, this was the last time Julius was in the playoffs. So I'm going off of that, right? This is 2 years ago. I'm going straight to Game 3. He played 39 minutes. Was he great from 3? No. All right. But he was 8 of 13 from the field. He shot 61%. He had 9 rebounds and 3 assists and 20 points, right? The Knicks lost 109-101. Tell you that Julius Randle contributed 20 points and 9 rebounds on 8 of 13 shooting with 3 assists. Pretty good game. That's a decent game because let's not forget, he wasn't the number one option here. We still got Jalen Brunson. So if he contributes this to the team, we got a chance to win. All right. We got other guys in the team that got to step up. This is the playoffs. You ain't going to win the playoffs by one guy. That don't happen anymore. You need more guys to step up to win a playoff game. Right. So I think this is a good outing for Julius Randle. This is an outing like when you don't have everything going and you're going up against playoff defense. 29-3 on 61% shooting from the field is a good game. You know what I mean? It's a decent game. And we lost. But then you go back, and I've already pointed at it. Game 1 in a series against Miami, which Miami is an incredible playoff team and usually gives us a lot of trouble. This is out the gate, 25, 12, and 8. This sets the statement, sets the tone. And we won that game. Right? So you might say, okay, well, listen, he didn't play good in the second game. I told you about that. He tweaked the ankle. Fine. Third game we already talked about. Fourth game, 24, 5, and 5 on 7 of 13 shooting from the field and 4 of 7 from 3. 6 of 10 from the free throw line wasn't great, but the other point, he shot well here. And we won once again. So Julius Randle played good in the first game. We won. He played good in the fifth game. 1, 2, 3. No, fourth game. We won, right? And wait, am I missing something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys see what I see? Or don't see what I don't see? This is best 3 out of what is this? Where's the 6th game? Oh, he didn't play a 6th game. That's what it was. That's when he got hurt that he had to leave.
Yeah, remember the foot was completely done at that point. They shut it down.
Yeah, because he aggravated it in game 2, and then the 6th game he was done. Got it. Sorry, I forgot. I was like, "Where's the 6th game?" Okay, all right, that makes sense.
He had also previously heard it in the Cleveland series.
Remember right? No, I know. I remember. Yeah,
Allen,
that's actually where it started. That's where it started. Where he initially got hurt, then he got a little better, and he re-aggravated it. Yeah.
But it started in the regular season, near the end of the regular season.
Oh, wait, no, I'm tripping. You're right, because he missed the last 2 weeks of the season. We talked about that. Yeah. Actually, the last 2.5 weeks of the season.
He wasn't even supposed to play. They thought he wasn't even going to play. They didn't know.
Yep.
Didn't he miss game 1 of that series? The Heat series?
I
think that's what it was. I think he missed game 1 and then played the
remainder. That's why I'm tripping. I'm reading it. I wasn't paying attention to the actual numbers. Yeah, the game 1 is the one that's missing. Got it. Thank you, Sam. Yeah. So yeah, he missed game 1. So okay, so he aggravated. I apologize. It wasn't game 1. Game 2. It was game 3. So he played game 2. We saw what he did after coming back from being hurt and still playing basically on a sore ankle. Then game 3, he aggravated it, right? But look at and still played 38 minutes, though, guys. That's another thing about Julius. You want to say what you want to say. This is the playoffs. He knows these games mean something. He's still out there. He gives his all. And we found that out when we watched the PG podcast. I found out that this dude played hurt with a broken, ankle or leg or whatever in college. He didn't even know it. This guy's a monster. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, you just can't don't even worry about Julius Randle, right? Look at these numbers that you've already seen against Miami. And look at that. Don't you think that if we're in the playoffs against a good Miami team that plays good defense, you don't think these numbers are impressive in the playoffs? I think these are impressive numbers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to toot the man's horn more than it needs to be tooted, but, pause. It's not really a pause, but I'm going to pause it for you youngins. I just think that you got to give him some love.
What's going to happen this year? Because, it's going to be some games. The team that we have, and if the offensive flows, I think I should, open man, whatever, it's going to be some games where Julius might have stats where he does have 10 points and 14 rebounds. That don't mean he has a bad game. How many people are going to jump on him because he don't have, the stats, the 25 and 12, Now you're adding another 20-point scorer to the starting lineup in Bridges. So, you got to figure something's got to give somewhere. All right. Not everybody gonna be a 25 to 30-point scorer game with that type of team. Hopefully it's hit the open man, whoever got the open shot type of thing. Because, we got good enough players that if that ball spreads around and we share the ball, we have enough efficiency all around that we can make the game a lot easier.
So for me, Double A, it's more so what you said, and two, just to expound on it, I think I won't necessarily be looking at the amount of points that Randle scores. For me, it's more so the issue has been efficiency. So just to see how efficient he is in getting his baskets, less turnovers, things of that nature. Like we said, consistency on defense. That's more of what I'm looking for out of Julius Randle, because like we've all said, as far as the show's going on, this is a different roster than what he's went into the playoffs with previously. So he's not really asked to, even though he is the number 2 option, he's not going to be asked to score 30 points a game. Brunson, can get in his bag. Randle can get in his bag, but it wouldn't be mandatory like we've seen from Brunson this year to pretty much score 40 just to will his team to a win.
Yeah.
That won't be demanded out of Randle this postseason. So I'm just interested to see how his efficiency goes into the playoffs, and definitely health, because we can't afford to not have him this year. I mean, we can obviously make the playoffs, but we would like to be at full strength.
True.
That's a good point.
Eh,
Shout out to
Did,
Mini Me 1231. Only issues with Randle is not having enough handles, which lead to turnovers and lack of finishing at the rim. It's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good point.
did his efficiency go up? I mean, to back Sam's point up, if I remember the statistics when we added OG, they said that Randall, his stats were actually a lot better. His shooting percentage was a lot better. His turnovers were less, and that it was attributed to our addition of OG. Because like you said, he had to do less. He had to do less to get open. When you got somebody playing forward opposite of you like OG and Obi, OG's man can't necessarily lay off OG to give your man help, to give the man that's guarding you help. So, that makes him not, because we know Julius used to turn the ball over, man. When he had two or three guys around him, that's a turnover. You know what I mean? If Julius had to put the ball on the floor and try to dribble out of traffic, that was a turnover. But it's easier in a one-on-one situation. Like I said, I don't know too many people that Julius Randle can't muscle one-on-one.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you once again for the generous super chat. He said, "Stop judging Julius physically. That's not his issue." Yeah,
Paris,
that you
Paris,
you you
Paris.
make a point that we've already talked about the effort in certain cases with Julius, especially on the defensive end. But you can't not talk about when a person is hurt or playing hurt. You know what it is? I think sometimes also with fans, we get spoiled, right? Because we used to guys doing what we want them to do out there. Oh, run through a wall. I don't care. Listen, if I can't walk, I can't play. Stuff like that is it sounds good, but let's be realistic too. If you want to see me play my best, the healthier I am, the better you're going to see me, right? So the fact that he put up decent numbers against a Miami. First off, let me say this again because I think people get it twisted. I'm gonna say it again because I know people forget when I say this. I said this 2 years ago when this was happening. Julius Randle gets hurt at a pivotal time at the end of the season, right when we're going into the playoffs. So, one, you're already going to come into the playoffs rusty because you're not playing, right? Then, when you go into the playoffs, who's the first team you see? The best defensive team in the NBA is your first round matchup in the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you expect Julius to go off? Coming back from an injury, trying to get his shot back together, trying to get comfortable out there. And once again, I said this before, we now know that he wasn't healthy. He came back, but he was still hurt, right? Then in the series against Cleveland, he tweaks the ankle. But he still figures out a way to play. He finishes out the series, goes into the Miami series. He can't play the first game. He plays the second game, plays really well in the second game. We win. Oh, yeah, that's a great feeling. But you understand what has to go into it. And mind you, this is Julius Randle, who's 6'8", 250 pounds on that bad ankle. Okay? All the stuff he did, he's still doing while playing hurt. I think that's the part that everybody's missing. He was hurt. You talked about, I think, and so I'm gonna shout you out in your next generous super chat. I appreciate you, Parrish. Thank you for the love, man. He said, if I was Julius, I would be embarrassed listening to people making excuses for my poor play in the playoffs. Jimmy was hurt. Brunson was hurt. Stop. Yeah, no. First off, Brunson was not hurt the way Randle was hurt. This year, Brunson was hurt. We saw Brunson play really hurt through certain moments. But Randle was hurt, but Randle plays a certain way. He's a physical player. You imagine being physical, 6'8", 250 pounds on a bad ankle? Like, come on, man. Like, we got to be realistic too about it. Like, these people are human, and you want to see them play well. You want to see them dominate. You want to see them rebound for you, jump up and down, box people out, bull them around. That's his game, right? But he's got a hurt ankle. And then the whole thing was, oh, you know what I mean? Once again, Julius is not like, we need more from Julius. Julius this. And like I said, after the series is over, the Knicks get eliminated. He has to get surgery. That's when we knew, oh, he was really hurt. So what are we doing? He was really hurt. I'm just confused. I get, like, I've been one of the first people to say, when Julius Randle don't show effort, I don't like it. I've even put a video up showing him in that Milwaukee game where the Knicks were down. It was like 45 seconds left, and he's not following the damn ball. I was pissed off. I'm like, the ball went all the way down, and he's just complaining over here in the background. And we lost that game because of stupid stuff like that. But this is not that. This is just him going out there, not being healthy enough, trying his best, and only giving you what he can give you. It's not fair to knock the guy for that. I'm telling you, this narrative, this Julius not playing in the playoffs narrative is dead to me. Am I the first one to say that? I don't know.
No, I think Parrish is hating, bro, because I don't see. Okay, what I'm talking about is what he's talking about. Embarrassed. I mean, you just showed us his stats in that Miami series. Show me a bad performance. Show me a bad performance. So where Parrish is trying to make a point, why are we making excuses for Julius? Because beside he was hurt, yeah, but he still played good. He still was contributing to us winning. So I don't know what point Parrish is trying to make. I really don't.
I think I understand, like, Parrish and other guys, Sherwin, and there's been issues about Julius's effort. I get that. I understand. But what I'm saying is Julius has been improving. And to your point, let me bring that up. Let me get this out of here. Thank you, Parrish, once again. Appreciate you, brother. And like I said, guys, and if anybody's new tuning into the show, this is the type of stuff we do, man. Parrish's fam, all these people in here, we go back and forth. We have good spirited conversations. This is good for dialogue. It's great for the show. To this, right? All right. So, this team now has Jalen Brunson on it, right? And Jalen Brunson has been here, what, 2 years? Has it been 2 full years? Yeah, 2 full years. Look at Julius Randle's numbers, right? Then forget Lakers, right? Forget New Orleans. But New Orleans you can count because he had 21.4 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Look at his shooting, 52%, shot 34 from 3, blah, blah, blah. Then, that first year with the Knicks, that Knicks team was ugh. You know what I mean? So, all right. But okay. Then the most improved season. He had 24. He was averaging 24 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Ooh, he was a beast. 81 from the free throw line, 41 from 3, 45 from the ooh, Julius, don't hurt him. He was killing, right? Then you get the next season, right? And this was the down season, 20 points, basically 10 rebounds, 5 assists. This is still really good numbers, guys. 20, 10, and 5 is still good numbers. But for Julius, we saw him do better, so we expect more. And we needed more because there was no Jalen Brunson, right? So it goes from that. Then the next year, mind you guys, this 20-point season is the thumbs down season.
Okay? And that's the Fournier Walker season, ain't it?
Yeah, Fournier and Kemba, right?
Kemba.
Right. So then we go into these next 2 seasons. Jalen Brunson is now on the team, guys. Notice, instead of, and we know Jalen Brunson, gets a lot of opportunities. He's the point guard, but he's a scorer.
Yeah. Right.
Notice, instead of his numbers going down, they went up. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. That went down a little bit, but okay. But still, 34% from 3. That's pretty solid for a power forward in the league. I'll take it. 75% from the free throw line, 46% from the field, right? Then this past year, yes, he only played 46 games, but still 24 points per game, 9.2, just under the 10, 5 assists, 78 from the free throw line, 31% from 3. That number, because you guys remember, he stunk it up early. So I think that really had something to do. If he played a full season, he might have been able to get that 31 number up to around 33, maybe 34, whatever, and 47% from the field. But the addition of Jalen Brunson has not hurt Julius Randle at all. If anything, it definitely helped him rebound back to, a better factor in the team, doing his overall stuff. So there's no issue there. And Jalen Brunson was the number one option. Like he deferred to him and they played off of each other. So I don't see an issue there. So I don't know. I don't see it, guys. I think once again, people just look at Julius and it's crazy. All right. Thank you, Lady and the Chef. So their show is tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Okay. Appreciate you. Everybody tune in to, Two Knicks Chicks on YouTube tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Cool. All right. Let me get to this. I see there's some other stuff in the chat. People have some questions and stuff. Ivory 10 is like, I can't believe we even discussing Julius Randle's value to this team. This conversation alone is offensive to Jules. After everything the man has done, I'm going to give him credit. Now, if Julius Randle never turned it around, he was still the thumbs down dude. He was still smacking laptops out of coach's hands and still not picking up his teammates. And that's different. I would want him gone yesterday. But he's changed, guys. So that part, let's move on from that. All right. Now, I wanted to throw this up there because, like I said, I left off Skipentsev, so don't sue me. Like I said, I didn't know anything was official with him. But this is my my depth chart proposed for now. All right. So at point guard, we got Jalen Brunson, then technically Tyler Kolek, and then Cameron Payne. Even though nothing is set in stone, this is all technically, okay? The shooting guard, you got Mikal Bridges, Dante DiVincenzo, Miles McBride, because he's more of an off-guard, shooting guard type player than a point guard. He still may get a good amount of minutes, more minutes than Tyler Kolek, but it's just he'll be asked to do different things. Small forward, we got OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Pacome Dadier, right? Pacome probably will never play, but he's in that spot. Then you got power forward, you got Julius Randle. Once again, you got Josh Hart, because even though Keita Bates-Diop is a power forward option, let me tell you something. If Tibs wants to do different lineups, Josh Hart is always going to play ahead of Keita Bates-Diop at that power forward spot if Tibs wants to go small. He will do that. We've already seen it work. Shout out to Josh Hart for being a freaking incredible player. And in that center, you got Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims, Ariel Huck-Porty, and most likely you've got my guy Skipentsev. But we'll see how that all works out. And I think that this is what it's going to be for now, guys. This is what we're looking at. I'm okay with this team, man. I can go to war with this team. Are they necessarily a championship contender? On paper, it remains to be seen. They've got enough. Like we've seen what the Knicks can do without having Mikal, and so we can say, if these guys are all healthy, they can definitely make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But to win a championship, I don't know. They have to go out there and play and show us what they can do. But I feel good about this team, man. And like I said, Tyler Kolek might not get a lot of minutes. Pacome Dadier is probably not going to play at all. And, I still feel like Josh Hart is going to play over Keita Bates-Diop. But I expect Keita Bates-Diop to be the new Precious. Because at this point, I really don't think that they're going to bring Precious back. And if you hear that the Knicks have signed Precious Achiuwa, I think they'll be flipping him. That's my own opinion. But what do you guys think about the Knicks depth chart? Sam, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute. So for me, I think it's a solid depth chart so far, but I still think that the power forward and center spots, as far as we go depth wise, I think that they're going to be still some changes that could be made. Like I said, I've been saying this pretty much all summer. I'm worried about the Precious thing because we've just really heard nothing about it. It seems like he's had offers, they've said, from other contenders, but they haven't said that the Knicks have done anything with Precious. So that's what I've always pretty much approached the summer, is just that he's not even on the team. I know guys were picturing that he's still on the team, but for me, he doesn't have a contract with the Knicks. I love what he brought us this season, past season, but he's not signed. So I can't picture him being in the depth chart until the Knicks do make that decision, which remains to be seen there. For me, I don't really expect much out of Bates-Diop. I like to see him do something, but he hasn't really done anything his last couple of seasons in the league, so I can't really say what he's going to do. And for me, I'm still hoping that, as many of the other Knicks fans out there, that the Knicks try to get a guy like Nick Richards or somebody that's more solidified and polished at the backup center. Not saying that Jericho Sims can't do it, but it remains to be seen. Now, for me, I think best case scenario for the Knicks moving forward is that Sims kind of has like a Deuce McBride type emergence where he immediately shows that he's developed his game and he's on a bargain contract. I think that works best for us moving forward in the future. But like I said, it remains to be seen. So since it hasn't been seen yet, I think that it would be of the Knicks' best due diligence to try to look to get a guy like Nick Richards in on the cheap. He's already signed for the next couple of years. I mean, just see what those options are for the backup center. Because honestly, I don't really know what they are unless it's via trade. So we'll just have to see if Leon Rose decides to work his magic or if he trusts in what he's got with Jericho Sims moving forward. Because I know Huck Porty's on that two-way, and if they did sign Dimitrov, he's probably going to be a two-way as well. So I don't see much out of those guys this season unless they decide to elevate Huck Porty. Not really seeing much outside of Mitch and Sims out of the center spot, but I'm interested to see how they run it with the guards. Like I said, I'd like to see Brunson get a breather. I think that that would be best for him. As far as him and Randall, when it comes to efficiency, the less that these guys play when they're not really needed on the court, I think we'll see more efficient buckets out of both of them. So I'm kind of interested to see how he runs the rotation of if it's going to be Deuce,
Mm,
Kolick, whoever, giving Brunson a
mhm.
blow, and then Josh Hart, a mixture of Josh Hart and whoever else at that fourth spot for Randall, because we need to preserve these guys going into the depth of the season.
Right, right. I mean, I think that's fair. It makes sense. The other thing too is, um, with regards to Jacob Toppin, for example, because I saw some people put Jacob Toppin. I haven't officially heard of anything. I mean, listen, unless you guys know something I don't know, I haven't heard officially of Jacob Toppin's being signed to anything or what's going on. Last year he was on a two-way. Don't know anything about this year. Only person I know that officially is on a two-way contract is Ariel Huckporty. I don't know who else the two ways have been given to yet, but that's the only one that I know of. So until that stuff is all said and done, I couldn't put him on the depth chart because I don't know what's going to happen. Do I think he could still wind up on this team? Yeah, because technically, the Knicks can have 15 roster spots and 3 two-ways. So it's almost a total of 18 players. So yeah, Jacob Toppin could still make this team. As well as we talked about Skapintsev, and there might be another person. But I got to let it play out first before I know what they're doing.
I think
And,
that one thing I'll say, and then you got to just Knicks. I think they signed Toppin to that two-way before Summer League, but I might be wrong. So I think he might be on a two-way contract, him and Huck Porty. So it might just be
okay.
one spot left. But you can double
Okay.
check that for me.
Let me check it out. Go ahead, just Knicks.
Um, I like that we got bodies to basically cover our starters and whatnot. In particular, I like the Tyler Kolick to back up Brunson. Just because seeing when we were playing, when we were playing, we really didn't have no one really able to get guys into position for the bench unit. And I feel like Kolick, honestly, he would be a good option. A lot of people don't think he's gonna get the opportunity, but at first I don't feel like he's gonna get it. But I feel like once he does, it's kind of like that Quickly effect. When Quickly first got the touch to get some minutes, he gonna show Tibs that, hey, you gotta play me. And I feel like that's the same energy Kolick is gonna bring. A lot of people are like, oh, he's not gonna start over Payne, this and that. I don't think that's the case. I mean, I feel like for me personally right now, I feel like he's a little bit better to pay a better fit for what we need than Payne.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll just
Um,
Unc, I'll expound on that because I'm the president of the Tyler Kolick fan club, being also here at Marquette. So for me, I'm hoping, I really am hoping that Kolick gets his shot, but realistically, like we know, it's gonna be a grind just for him to get burned. I'm hoping that he, gets that backup spot and it's him and Deuce kind of splitting those minutes, but that would lead to Tibbs doing something he hasn't done so far, which is expanding to that 10-man rotation. So if Tibbs does and is willing to expand to that, then I think we do see some Tyler Kolek minutes in spot situations. mainly for him to be a ball handler. Because in my opinion, right now, at least off what we seen last year, I would go with Kolek as far as being more of a playmaker than Deuce. I do love Deuce, but we all know he has his deficiencies, at least as of last season, when it comes to playmaking for his other teammates. So I think it'll be interesting situation. But yeah, I'm honestly thinking campaigns in the Theo Pinson type role this year. I don't see it
Yeah, man.
like at
Nobody
all. I
likes
think he
anything, man.
I think that because like Fred Cass and a bunch of the other guys that report for the Knicks put it out there, like him and Mikal Bridges are really good friends. So I think that could be another move where it's like, okay, we're growing, this bond on the team where everybody likes everybody, it's good relationships. But for me, I just don't see Campaign getting a lot of burn. Now, I will say this though, he is a good option. Like if we have nothing else left, I'm not mad with having Campaign be the last guy off the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, listen, if Campaign is the Theo Pinson of this team, I'm okay with that too, because you know what, Theo Pinson had a good role on the team. The difference with Campaign is Campaign's actually got some game, so if we needed to use him, we could use him. I'm okay with that. Let him be the rah guy and get everybody hyped. Do a couple dance moves. Hey, let's go. I
Yeah.
don't know, whatever.
Don't get wind going, Ron. Don't get wind going.
Hey, but real
Yeah,
quick,
we'll
man.
take it.
Real quick, I appreciate you for letting me on. I gotta get ready to slide out. My guy
Appreciate you,
Double
brother.
A, my
All
guy
right,
Sam,
brother.
y'all continue to do what y'all doing, man. I'll see you guys.
All
Peace,
right, man.
Jay.
Good to see you, brother. Take it easy. Have a great day, bro.
Now, the A's turn. Now, I'm with Sam 199.9%. Okay. If we have championship aspirations, we need a backup center that would and can be able to start for us, that has those abilities. Because, man, it's still that thing. As much as we love Mitch, and I'm very, very excited to see what Mitchell Robinson's going to do, having both OG and Bridges in that starting lineup. I was on another podcast before, and the host kind of like was confused. Well, how is that going to make Mitchell Robinson better? And to me, it's obvious. Mitchell Robinson has had to cover for mostly everybody on the team, every position. And that's why a lot of people wonder, why has Mitchell Robinson's block numbers have not equaled his defensive player status. Yeah, why doesn't he like lead the league in blocks and all that? It's very simple. Mitchell Robinson hasn't been able to be stationary. Mitchell Robinson has to fly all over the court and cover for this guy and cover for that guy. Mitchell Robinson is going to have two elite defenders now in the starting lineup with him. You're going to see Mitchell Robinson's shots go up. I have no doubt that Mitchell Robinson can be a starting center on a championship team. He showed that. He basically would single-handedly dismantle the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those of you who are hating on Mitchell Robinson, do yourself a favor. Rewatch the Cleveland Cavaliers series and tell me if Mitchell Robinson doesn't deserve to be our starting center. Okay? The only question with him, like Sam said, is health and availability. And if we lose Mitchell Robinson for an extremely long time, we're not going to get by with Jericho Sims. We're not going to get by with Hakapulki. We're not going to get by with the other rookie center. We need somebody that can start and can do and give us that starting quality performance. And I don't think these guys are going to be able to do it. I might be wrong. Rose knows more than me. I'm not judging or questioning Leon Rose ever again. Not after he acquired OG and not after he acquired Bridges. I'm never going to question him again. But my whole thing, Ron, is look, you need to play OG as a backup power forward, and I'm going to tell you why. That
Mm.
opens up more minutes for Josh Hart as small forward. It opens up more minutes. You can slide Bridges over to small forward, right? When you move OG to power forward. And now you got more minutes for Dante. Because remember, Dante is going now from starter to sub, and he's backing up Bridges. And come on, Bridges is going to play 30 minutes a game. So you're going to be happy. You think Dante's going to be happy with 18 minutes a game? I don't know. Maybe. I don't see where any minutes are going to come for Deuce McBride unless Tom is just going to sit Tyler, which I think would be a big mistake. you know, campaign, he's going to be like a Swiss Army knife, break one open. We're going to use him when we can, when we need him. But that's going to be the big thing. Are you going to sacrifice Tyler Kolick's development because of minutes and, playing deuce? I don't know. That's a tough break. That's why I'm thinking, being that we have that situation, a trade might be in the works, and you might have to use Deuce to get somebody to back Mitch up that we can count on. It's just a matter of what we want. If we're going to be happy making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, we might get by with these guys as is. But if we're thinking championship round, I really think that we need, like Sam said, we need somebody to come in here and play starting center.
Yeah.
And just to expound on that too, honestly, like I said, I say I'm the president of the fan club jokingly. Like I support him because we went to the same school. But as far as like actual realistic, options for next season, I don't see Tibbs unless something drastically changes. I think he's going to give it to the guys he's already earned and he can trust. So with that being said, I do see Deuce, starting the season as that starting backup. The only way that I see Kolick getting the minutes, which I think would be good for the team moving forward, is like I said, if we get that 10th spot open as far as like a 10-man rotation, and he's able to make minutes for Kolick. But we all know how Tibbs is as far as like just recency. He likes to stick to that solid rotation of guys on a night-to-night basis. So I think Kolick will be situational, Campaign will be situational. So it's just really depending on the matchups. I believe that we'll see either one of those guys on the floor. But I think Tibbs might lean to trusting Campaign in certain situations over Kolick due to his experience in being an NBA vet. But I do think that Kolick has the skill to where he could be beneficial depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. It's tough to really say, guys, because we don't know how it's all going to play out. We just have some options, and we just got to see how it turns out. We don't know who's going to play what. I'll tell you one thing: Miles Deuce McBride is on this team. He is going to get his minutes over Kolick. I'll tell you that because he's earned that. Like he's worked through things. Tibbs has seen him earn it, and Tibbs remembers playing Miles 45 seconds at the end of the second half. I mean, at the end of the first half. Like he's gone through all that, and he's shown improve. Now, I forgot who said it now. Shoot, who was it that said that? I don't know. Someone said it in regards to, that Deuce is the number one. He's not, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be a number one. Being a number one doesn't basically, quantify your value on this Knicks team. And that doesn't say, because he's a number one, he deserves to get these minutes. No, you could be a number two and deserve to get minutes. Like that doesn't change anything. And like I said, he should get whatever minutes that Tibbs can carve out. Miles McBride should, as long as he's here, he should get those minutes, right? Because he deserves that. And this is Miles right here. Guys, this is not a number one, all right? This is his stats. God damn it, Brian Windhurst, always on the screen. Get out of here, man. 8.3 points, which is his highest number of points to date, right? He played 19 minutes, which is, his most minutes he ever got to play. I don't even know if he can get 19 minutes this year with everything we got going on. But the point is 8.3 points, right? And then his shooting from the field improved 45%. His shooting from three improved 41%. His shooting from the free throw line improved 86%. No one's saying that Miles McBride is not turning into a really serviceable, good player in the NBA. But 1.7 assists. Year before that, 1.1. Year before that, 1. This is not your point guard. This is not your guy, your facilitator that's going to create and get guys open. This is just, it's not who he is. He's an off-guard scorer. Good defense. Give you some, knock down an open three. Maybe take you off the dribble, get to the rack with a layup. Maybe hit a mid-range shot. It doesn't mean you're a point guard, though. Doesn't mean that you're that role. The point guard is not only supposed to get his, but he's supposed to make things easier for others. Get guys open. You know, assist, dish, dribble, drive, all that stuff. Don't turn over the ball a lot. He is good at that. Miles, ever since he came in the league, if you guys remember his rookie season, one of the things we talked about was how he could get steals, and then whenever he did give assists, his assist to turnover ratio was pretty high. Like he was good at not turning the ball over. But still, like ever since then, 1 assist, 1.1 assist, 1.7. I didn't even know he wasn't even giving me 3 assists a game. Like this ain't my point guard. I don't know what y'all see. That's not a point guard. Okay. That's just want to throw that out there.
This is why I see Tyler getting the minutes. I just see it because that second unit, man, you know, you need somebody to be a facilitator. Deuce to me is playing more like a small, undersized shooting guard. That's more like a role that I see Deuce fitting. But you know, there's been talk, and I don't know how much it's you know the validation of it. But I've read in different places where Tyler has already got a role carved off on this team. He's just impressed the Nick Brass and Tibs so much that you know. I mean, this guy was supposed to be a first round pick. We're lucky to get him, and I think he's just shown so much maturity, and you know you need a general. You know, you need somebody on that floor. Now, if Tibbs early in the season goes with McBride, it'll just depend on how that second unit is doing. Because really, if that second unit with Hart and DiVincenzo, I think they're gonna play quick and fast. You know how Hart gets; he'll get that rebound and boom, be down court, and he can bring the ball up. Dante can bring the ball up. So if Tibbs decides he can go with Deuce in that role, but it just depends on performance to me, Ron, how they're going to play. You know, how they're going to produce, and if they're not rolling, then you need that floor general, somebody to make it all flow together. So
Right.
I don't know. And
Right.
then you think about the contract that he got. You know, they ain't give him that for him to watch. So I don't know.
Yeah. And so what I wanted to say real quick, Sam, I'm sorry, I got caught up in everything. I had looked it up, and so it looks like, according to Spot Track, for the 2024-25 active roster, the Knicks only have 14 people that are actually on the active roster. OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Dante DiVincenzo, Miles McBride, Keita Bates-Diop, Jericho Sims, Cameron Payne, Pacome Dadier, Tyler Kolek, and Ariel Hawk-Porty. Now, wait.
So
1, 2,
I
3,
think
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
that's
Right.
14,
But,
right?
yeah. But the other thing, though, is it's kind of weird because then under the 2024-25 cap hold cap, you got players like Precious Achua, Daquan Jeffries, Charlie Brown Jr., Dwayne Washington Jr. Doesn't mean that they're on the contract. It just means, I don't know, maybe there's some money owed to them. But then you got Jacob Toppin. And Jacob Toppin's, under his name, he actually has a qualifying offer. So, you know. And, you know, obviously he was under a two-way at the time, so they still have him classified as a two-way. But they also have Charlie Brown Jr. as a two-way and Dwayne Washington Jr. as two-ways. And those guys, believe me, both of those guys are not coming back on this team.
Yeah, no. I think so with that last spot, you might see them depending on how his rehab goes, I'm not sure. But I think Kevin McCullough is definitely that we drafted second round. I think he's
Damn, we
definitely
keep
taking
forgetting
that
about
last
McCullough.
spot. So unless they decide a two-way, in which I believe they will, because he's rehabbing injury, like I said, so they're probably not going to rush him into the fire. I think you see Pacome, you know, he's going to be on the roster, obviously, as a first-round pick. But McCullough is probably going to be that last two-way spot that we have, because I think you said we have Toppin and Hawk-Porty so far. And I think you can have 3 two-ways. So Kevin McCullough will probably be that last two-way, and then they still try to get a guy for that 15th spot. I'm not sure who that's going to be. But yeah, we'll see who it is. But I don't know. For me, I didn't want to, like, you know, start the conversation and be like, oh, let's pin these guys against each other. I love both players. Like I
Yeah, me
said,
too.
I only see Kolek getting burned if it's situational, like if they need another ball handler on the court. Obviously, I feel like Tibs is going to go with the guys he's already went to war with. So I see Deuce already solidifying himself. I just don't think he will have that many of the ball handling duties when he's on the court, which is a fair take because we've seen even last year when he was getting his buckets in the playoffs, he wasn't really the primary ball handler, but he was listed as the backup point guard on the team. So I kind of see something similar to that happening this year. But I'm hoping that Tibbs decides to open his rotations up to 10 man so we can see a little bit of spot minutes from Tyler Kolek.
Mm-hmm. That
But
makes sense.
Sam, we're both in agreement that the Knicks need a better option as far as backup center, right?
Yeah,
That
we're in
being
agreement.
that that
Mhm.
that being said, what who is the best trade asset that we have to try to get that? I mean, if we can't use the picks that we have to obtain one, what do we have to trade? To what would be our best option to trade to get one? You know what I'm
So
saying? Because
for me, I haven't looked at the specifics, but if possible, I guess you would try to package because I don't see them moving campaign because he's a 1 year deal. Maybe try to package base Diop, and this would be like if they had to do so. I don't see them moving Deuce McBride. Honestly, I would see them moving Kolek before they move Deuce, just because Deuce has already been established on the roster and they know what they have in him for the bargain of the contract that he's on. If you look at the market of the league, Deuce obviously is underpaid, but that was because he was paid due to him before him showing what he showed this past
hmm
season. And so he's
hmm
really on a good contract. So I really don't see them moving him. Maybe you see them moving off of Kolek and base Diop and somebody else. But I'm hoping that it doesn't have to come to that. That's why I said like for the Knicks, obviously best case scenario is we're not trading any of these guys and we're seeing an emergence from Jericho Sims to where we don't have to worry about shipping off a Kolek, shipping off a Deuce McBride, or anybody like that who we could have value of keeping on our roster. So my hope is that a guy like Jericho Sims has a leap this offseason, similar to what Deuce had, respectively to his own position.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you look at it,
Um,
the roster we have with DiVincenzo and Hart and Brunson and Bridges and OG, and if Randall gets re-signed, you're looking at a unit that's going to be together for the next 3 to 4 years. That's going to be pretty much set. So now the conundrum is finding minutes for somebody for either Deuce or Tyler because the situation ain't gonna change for like years. So now you're looking at wasting a guy, a talent like Tyler, by him being in this restricted, not being able to get any playing time because of the situation he's in. Playing behind DiVincenzo and Hart and Brunson and Bridges because Brunson, that's the point guard minutes right there. You're going to get some spot filling minutes for somebody there, and then shooting guard. I mean, Bridges is already on some supplanted uh, DiVincenzo, and you're going to want to give him some decent minutes. So it's not going to be no minutes there. Small forward, you got Bridges. I mean, OG, he's going to eat up most of the minutes there. So you see what I'm saying? It's better to take advantage and use your excess to get and fill in where you're weak at. Right now, we're overpopulated at backup guard position. So we would have to deal from our strength. And to get somebody the quality that I think we need to back up Mitch or Richards or Duran or something like that, we're going to have to put together, a decent package. And for that, then we need to trade from our strength, which is like I said right now, we have an abundance of backup guards. So that's what I'm looking at. If they do make a move, which I think they should, because I just don't see Jericho Sims. I see Mitch getting hurt midway in the season. And you think that Jericho Sims is going to really take us to the finals? I don't know. You know, I don't
it's a
know.
tough
But
one. That's a tough
Well, see,
one.
but
here's the thing for me. Like, I I'm obviously just trying to be optimistic here, but I'm thinking, like that's why I said to start. I think it's going to be more situational. So, like with guys like McBride and Kolek, I see it being situational, as in the sense that they've already paid Kolek, like we've already talked about, Ron. We brought that up multiple shows ago. Highest paid second round, pick in history. So I don't see
Mm-hmm.
them not playing him at all, which is why I hinted at from the jump that I see Tibs has got to expand the rotation. I don't think he can no longer go to that 9-man rotation due to the talent that we have on the roster and the contracts that we've already put out to these players. So I think he'll understand that he's got 2 bargain contracts on Kolek and Deuce McBride. So I don't see him just not playing either one of those guys. And also, when it comes to the center position, obviously you hope that Sims pops, but if you have to go out there and get somebody, that's a different story. But I think, like, to Double A's point, in a sense, if you go out there and grab a good quality center to back up Mitchell Robinson, maybe you don't have to worry about him getting hurt from playing, in minutes when he's not supposed to be out there. You have somebody who can give him a break. And also, since we know he's coming off an injury, it would be best to have a solidified backup center so that he's, kind of get himself back into shape. I don't know the type of shape he's in right now. I hope he's close to 100%, but I just feel like regardless if he is or not, we need to get a solidified backup center. But my go-to scenario is Sims, showing his development. Hopefully he's done so. But if he hasn't, then I think the Knicks will be quick to pull the trigger and bring somebody else in.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see here. I see I got a super chat from Parrish. I'll get to that in 1 second. Parrish, give me a second. But before I get to that, someone said something here. Nick Yak. So when McBride was playing 36 minutes G League, he averaged 9 assists. I mean, it doesn't matter. When he came back up, and for the regular season, he averaged 1.7 assists. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've already mentioned earlier, McBride's rookie season, he actually had a really good assist to turnover ratio when he was out there playing, right? But it didn't sustain over the whole course of the full regular season. But he had moments where he put up some nice assist numbers, and his assist to turnover ratio was really nice. And then obviously when he went to the G League, we saw Miles put up some really good numbers with points and assists. But it's the G League. They don't play no defense in the G League. I told y'all this before. Don't get me wrong. It's a good way to learn and feel confident in your game and work on things. But as far as high-quality defense, G League ain't it. It's not it. It's almost like watching an all-star game in a way, like the rookies versus the sophomores. These guys be running up and down, and the resistance. I mean, they play better defense in the summer league. So I'm just saying, like, G League is kind of funky. Now I hope they improve on it, but I've seen some wild stuff. I got clips because of Deuce and of the and I always forget his name. It was the power forward, the 6'10" guy that we had got from San Antonio. He was killing in the G League that year. But yeah,
I know who you're talking about. I just cannot.
You know what I'm talking about.
His name. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
He was cooking. I can't remember what it was. And people was like, yo, man, why the Knicks don't bring him up? This dude's dropping 30 every night. I'm like, yeah, hey, ain't no damn defense. And not only did the Knicks not bring him up, but they let him go. So that just tells you that they didn't believe in that either. Once again, it's not a knock on Deuce. All I'm trying to tell you is the G League is sometimes a misrepresentation of people's games, because when he came up to the league, he did his thing, but we do not see that same assist level. We don't see the same playmaking level. It's just different. And there's nothing, it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, you don't have to be that guy. You just have to be the best guy you are, so we can, see the fruits of what you worked on. And he's been good. Deuce has been getting great. Not great. He's getting better.
Ron,
So,
it was
Samanic.
It was Luka Samanic. That's had me going to the
Luka. Yeah, he was a Luka. Luka Samanic.
Yes, me going to the dungeon in my memory from that. That's been a minute.
He was cooking in the G League. I was like, oh, everybody was like, yo, look at this Luka kid. We got ourselves a Luka too. Yeah, it didn't work out.
No, it didn't work. No, it didn't.
Yeah,
we had our hopes.
And then he got hurt too. Once he hurt his leg, it was Dunsky. So let me get to let me shout these guys out first. Jet Life for Life, appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Justo11, what's good? Appreciate you. Knicks will be 2025 and 26 champs in the building. Deuce isn't a point guard. The Kolek/Deuce argument is pointless. When it comes to that, Tom Thibodeau is going to play what works for him. If the Knicks look like they need more defense, and we're getting everything else we need, Deuce is going to just be playing, and it's not going to be no question about it. But if the Knicks have moments where the second unit is going into the lineup, the offense looks stagnant, people are just watching each other, nobody's moving the ball, you might see Kolek come off the bench. That's my opinion.
I think we said that, Ron. We've been arguing that Deuce and Kolek have different skill sets. What we've been talking about is playing time, and when it comes to that, it is him against Deuce for the minutes that are available. Right.
And I did want to say too, I was saying what I said in regards to if that's the role they have him in, I'm fine with it. Do I think Cam Payne is going to really be Theo Pinson? No. I think he was brought here to do some stuff, and he's probably going to get some minutes here and there. But would as a Knicks fan, would you be mad if there was a game where Deuce played 15 to 18 minutes, right? And then the next game Deuce doesn't play, and then Cam Payne gets 15 or 18 minutes, and then vice versa? Like they kind of trade off here and there, not all the time, because you need continuity, you need consistency to get your game going. But I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of switch up here and there, because they got a lot of options, and they don't have enough minutes. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that to kind of get guys good looks. I don't know. This is not a Thibodeau thing, and this is like foreign territory for him. So I don't know how this is going to work, y'all. I'm just, it is what it is. Right. We'll see. Shout out to Luke Skywalker Visions in the building. What up, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Shout out to my guy Shy Powers in the building. What up, Shy? Appreciate you. My guy Wiz BKLA in the building. He says salute Disco Ron in the panel. Shop Howard's facts. Ryan Arch is definitely coming back, and Tibs will have all 5 Nova kids at the floor at the same time at some point. Well, I don't know. We'll see about that. Kevin Middleton is in the building. Salute, Kevin. He said, I have been trying to convince myself all summer that we are better than Sixers, but more. And I keep seeing what they're doing. I just might be delusional. We're missing a legit starter center bench upgrade. Yeah, well, listen, I'm going to tell you, like I told them, Kevin Middleton, a healthy Knicks team is not a team you got to see for the whole season. So it doesn't matter who they're adding over there. You haven't seen the true Knicks team for the whole season. If you get to see them out the gate and for the rest of the season, it don't matter what Philly's doing, because we're a different team. Philly hasn't even got to see the whole Knicks team. They didn't get to see everybody last year. Not everybody was healthy. So you imagine going up against a Philly team. Yeah, Philly didn't have everything they needed, but that was the team they built. Right now they're putting together a better team, but now we're getting pieces back, and we got an addition. Macau and Julius is coming back. Let's not.
Go ahead. I'll ask Mr. Middleton how many games does he think Embiid and George will be playing this year? If he feels they're going to play 82 games,
that's going to be an interesting dynamic.
And we got Bridges to throw at Macy. We got OG to throw at George. So who they got to throw at Julius Randle?
Right.
Who they got to throw at Jalen Brunson? That's all I'm saying. They talk about bench. Are you kidding me? Our starting 3/4 of our starting unit is going to be on the bench this year, bro. Josh Hart and Dante started how many games from us last year? They were our starters in the playoffs. They're going to be on the bench, bro.
Yeah, I think to double A to your point, it's going to be difficult to really envision that Philly team, because it seems that they really went all in on those top 3 guys, and then they just kind of, they were able to get Oubre back on a deal, but outside of that, they kind of just bargain shopped to kind of fill in the rest of the rotation, because they lost a lot of guys that were off of that bench that were actually playing good minutes for them. So I mean, if you're going to replace, in my opinion, Batum, who was doing most of the guarding on Brunson when Oubre wasn't there, with Eric Gordon or whoever else, Caleb Martin, I'm okay with that. I mean, they've still got their top guys have got to show up. If we, like you said, Double A, if we were able to beat that team last year with what they had, with just Jalen Brunson and a bunch of guys right now who are going to be coming off our bench, I feel pretty good about it. But they've got other problems as far as, their top 2 guys on that roster playing a full season. I think that's more of the issue. And then also Paul George just showing up in the playoffs is an even bigger issue for them, because they did max him out. So in my opinion, for that team, I think Philly will be very good, but I just I'm not too sold on their bench at all, as far as their bench, the mold of that bench, how it goes, how it fits. And I saw mocks of them starting Eric Gordon. If they do that, that would be a mistake if they're playing a team like the Knicks, because I don't see Eric Gordon being able to guard anybody in our starting rotation, and let alone I don't think he's the same guy that he used to be on those Hornets teams.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's a good point. He's definitely a different player. He has his moments where he can still cook you, but he's just not. He's not the same player consistent wise. That's a good point. Shout out to Chef NYK. What's going on, Chef? Appreciate you. Shout out to my guy, the one and only, the closer, Mr. J Boogie. He said, shout out to the family, bless his health and happiness. Big ups to Ron and our guests. Everybody else are shooting blanks now. Just know we got some more clips. Stay tuned. And speaking of that, by the end of the show, which is going to be a little sooner than later, guys, because I got some stuff I got to do today. But I got some J Boogie heat for y'all. So you guys stay tuned. I got some J Boogie heat. It's coming. It's coming, y'all. So did I get? Yeah, I got everybody else. Okay. If there's anybody out there that I wasn't able to shout out, you know what I mean? Not for lack of trying. Love y'all, man. For real. Appreciate you guys. But I also want to say that we understand. I hear you, Craig. I know other people say I get it. It's a work in progress, and it's yet to be seen. But guys, listen, y'all keep saying this that Tyler can't defend. But if Tyler's out there with any combination of OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, or a Mikal Bridges, any of these combinations with a Mitch out there or whoever it may be, Tyler's defense is not going to be the issue. We're going to have enough defenders out there to make up for whatever he's lacking. And I said before, Tyler is somebody, he's first off, he's going to have to get comfortable, right? And I wanted to tell you guys this too, because I get it. I saw the same deficiencies y'all saw in the summer league. But I want to tell you, that summer league team didn't look like they was playing a lot of defense to begin with. A lot of guys was Olay out there. I didn't see a lot of it. I saw some good stuff from Pacom Dadier on the defensive side. Jacob Toppin played some good defense. But then once Jacob Toppin got hurt or tweaked whatever he tweaked, and he was out of the game, we lost one really good defender, and it was even less defense out there. So I'm just saying, like, there was a little, like, when you have better defenders surrounding you, your defense will look better and you'll be able to take some liberties. Like, then Tyler can get into his, okay, well, if you try to come by me, I'm swiping at the ball. If I miss, I know I got my backup. But this is a quick, easy way for me to get the ball away from you, get a steal. It's the Kyle Lowry thing. And I told you guys before, when I watched Tyler, his college highlights and stuff, his defense is like Kyle Lowry defense. He swipes at the ball, gets it out your hands. You go up, he swipes it before you can get up. He's a pickpocket. That's his style. Just like Jalen Brunson's not a great defender, but we all give him credit for his effort because we know he'll stand in front of somebody and get that charge, and he's one of the best at doing it. So you got to give guys credit for what they do, and hopefully that translates. We'll see. But I hear you. Tyler's got some stuff you need to clean up.
You got to remember when Emmanuel Quickly came to our team from Kentucky, he wasn't a defender either. Okay? Now, you got to give Tom Thibodeau a little bit of credit. Tyler, to me, he's a legit 6'3". Okay, he has talent. He's a smart ball player. So you would think that Tom Thibodeau would be able to work with him and put him in a situation where all he had to do is play good defense. We don't need him to be the steals leader of the NBA. We just need him to be decent on defense. And if you have enough talent, I think he does. He has the height, and I think working with Tom Thibodeau, he can improve his defense. No doubt. It happened quickly, right? Because quickly we used to be the same way when he came in the league.
Here's my thing too, guys. You can go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. I was just shouting out Juan B in the chat. Appreciate you, and also Walter White. What's good, y'all? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the thing about Kolek that I think he'll show a lot of fans, and it might not come, like I said, with him getting a lot of minutes this year. But I think one thing that you'll see as far as his tenure with the Knicks is that he is a hard worker. That's something that he's always shown, even when he played here at Marquette, was the guy's going to go out there and he's going to give you his best effort every single night. And it doesn't matter if, okay, his shot's not falling. Okay, cool. He's going to get guys involved on offense. If he's not able to, really facilitate and guys are sagging off, He's going to make him pay with his shot, or he can attack the basket at a very good clip. Just depends for me, with the defenses. He's going to have to put a lot of work in, but I don't think that Tibs is going to put him on the court if he cannot play defense, if he's coming off of that second unit. I think that that's something that he's going to the right coach where Tibs is going to show him if he already, didn't know, he's going to know now with Tibs that you're going to have to play defense or at least be interested in being a willing defender in order to step on the court playing under Tibs. So I'm intrigued to see his growth and development on that side of the ball, playing under a coach like Tibs. So yeah, it remains to be seen, honestly. And even with the McBride comments that we've had earlier, we don't really know what Deuce is going to bring into the next season. I mean, this is a guy who, last year we were not talking about him the same way we're talking about him now. He could develop on the offseason and come back and be a facilitator. We don't know. So that's why I said there are a lot of unknowns, but they're good unknowns when it comes to a problem that we have on this team, whether it's going to be McBride being the backup point guard facilitating, or if Kolek will get spot minutes and we open that 10-man rotation. Either way, I don't see either one of those things being a problem, whether it's McBride getting all of the minutes at the backup point guard or him, splitting a little bit of time with Kolek, and it opens to that 10-man rotation.
Right. Yeah. That
and and with this culture, Sam, the culture that the Knicks have, because you gotta give a lot of our success due to the culture that the Knicks under Rose has developed on this team. So you got to believe in drafting him, they did their homework. If you notice the type of players that we're adding to our squad, they fit a certain mold. And the ones that are not, they're the ones that are leaving. They're the ones that are not staying here. I mean, RJ was supposed to be our golden boy. He's no longer here. Why?
Right.
Because he didn't fit. He didn't defend. That wasn't going to be it. So I think the Knicks are past that point of just filling in spots to fill them in. We have championship aspirations. So the type of guys they're bringing in, man, you look at Bridges, they're going to look for guys that can play defense. So I think if you're part of this Knicks roster, and like Sam said, you're going to get any type of minutes. You're going to sniff any type of minutes. Defense has to be in your portfolio.
Right. We got ourselves another guest in the background. Let me bring him up. My guy, Eddie C in the building. What up, brother? You on mute.
My bad.
Nah,
What's
there
up,
you
guys?
go.
Everybody? Yeah. There was a garbage truck was passing by, so I put myself on mute just in case I was going to get in. I didn't want you guys to hear all that.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you,
all
man.
that ruckus.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate you. And guys, if y'all haven't checked out Eddie C, the Zombie Man, check him out on YouTube. He's got his show is cracking now. He's getting into the Knick talk. I mean, he's always been a part of all of our shows and chats and being a part of the panels, but now he's doing his own thing as well. So please support him, show him some love. And I want to say once again, I already told you guys by the end of the show, which will be soon, because I got to get out of here. You're gonna hear some heat from Jay Boogie. But the other thing, I got some good news. We're gonna have a very special guest from Monday night's SKF show. I'm really looking forward to this one. So I'll probably start promoting it later tonight or tomorrow morning. You'll see who it is. And let me tell you something right now. You're gonna want to tune in. That's all I'm gonna say. You'll see it when it happens, but you're gonna want to tune in for this one. So Eddie C, what's going on, brother? How's everything? What's your thoughts?
I'm doing very well, man. Just came back from a vacation. Still on vacation from my job. Going to start on Monday, but I just came back from the lovely beach. Had a great time with the family and just relaxing a little bit. So when this NFL season starts, I'm ready to roll. Nice, yeah. When it comes, you guys are talking about Kolek, I guess his defense and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about that because if he replaces Brunson, if he's the backup to Brunson, he kind of like mirrors what Brunson does defensively, I guess, which is they work at it, but they're not the best defensively because of their deficiencies in height and obviously Brunson is stronger than Kolek, so Kolek is going to have to get adjusted to that. So I don't see it being a problem because I do like his passing ability, and it's something that we were lacking in the second unit. It was one of our worst, the holes that we had to fill, and Leon filled it nicely. So I'm glad about that, but not looking for a whole lot from Kolek. Brunson is still going to be playing around 40 minutes plus per game. So, and Deuce is still there. He's going to have to earn it. I think he's going to have to earn it. But I think he's on the right path. The organization likes him. He does some good things for us that we need. So for his rookie year, it's not much. Whatever he can give us, I think is a plus.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like I said, no one's you guys already know Tibs is a creature of habit. He runs his ship the way he runs his ship. He's got a lot of options now, but just because that is happening, Tibs is still going to do what Tibs does. Tibs don't care what you do. We saw how he handled the Cam Reddish situation. Well, I got a team, and you bring in other people, and I got to figure out. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna like Tibs ain't going. I mean, if he can't do it, he ain't gonna do it. He's all about winning. That's why one thing we got to respect. You can say a lot of things about Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau is a winner, and he wants to bring winning to the Knicks. And so we got to respect him for that. So we don't necessarily agree with everything he does, but in the end, we can't be mad at the results. It's been going in the right direction. So got to respect that.
I also want to add just one caveat.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just one caveat. In the Sixers series, McBride played very well. Not so much in the Indiana series, and I think a lot of people, lasting impression was of him not playing well. I had a feeling that he looked hurt when he was guarding some people. He couldn't keep up, and that usually wasn't him. He was able to keep up with Tyrese Halliburton. He was able to keep up with these guys, and I was seeing him getting blown by, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, he's got to be hurt, ankle, something. Lo and behold, he had a fractured pinky. He had a fractured pinky toe. So, Deuce is still Deuce. He didn't show it in the Indiana series. He was hurt. Nobody knew about it. But, he was playing with a fractured pinky toe. So, I think he's going to come out even better next year. He should be better next year, knowing his role now. And yeah, I think we're in a good spot there, even though we have Kolek. Just wanted to add that in there because of the Kolek conversation.
No, yeah, I hear you. I agree with that. Go ahead, Double A. I know you were going to say something.
Right. I know you said you had a little bit of time left, and I didn't want you to miss, because I was really interested in that topic about the Knicks signing, bringing that big man coach in.
That's where we're going right now, Double A. Thank you for the segue. So, yeah. We are actually going into coaching right now, guys, because there's two things that I want us to talk about real quick. So we're going to jump into Mark Bryant, and then we're going to come back to Thibodeau a little bit, right? So if you guys don't know, I mean, everybody pretty much knows by now, but New York Knicks, they did sign Mark Bryant. According to Ian Begley, Mark Bryant is joining the Knicks as an assistant coach on Tom Thibodeau's staff per SNY sources. Bryant, most recently with the Pistons, is widely viewed as one of the top big man coaches in the NBA. That's a great sign. You like to hear that, but also makes you think. Interesting that we're trying to get a big man. We haven't necessarily hit on a backup big man / guy who can start for us as of yet. And then they go out and they go get a big man coach. And you already know we've got a guy like Skapintsev on the team. We got a guy like Ariel Hukporti on the team. We do have Mitch here. What does that say? Are the Knicks trying to tell you, listen, if we don't see what we're going to see, we ain't going to do nothing. We're going to rock with what we got. That's what it's telling me. So, and bringing over a guy like Mark Bryant is not a bad thing. If I haven't followed Mark Bryant in such a long time. I actually remember when he used to play with Portland. Yeah, I'm a little older. So it's a nice thing to see that he has turned into someone that is recognized as one of the better big man coaches in the league. We definitely love what we've seen from Jalen Duren, right? So, and obviously he's worked with that young man. But then again, could it be foreshadowing? Could it be we're bringing the coach in first, and you know what's next? Now, I'm not saying that. All right, sorry. There goes the rumor mill. We're off again.
That's
But
what I'm
we'll see.
that's what I'm hoping, because the other way is telling me that they're gonna go with this guy to try to bring out the best in Jericho and bring out the
Right.
best in Huckaporty, and they're gonna stay as is, and that's very disappointing, because you got championship aspirations, bro. It's no time for experimentation. You know what I mean? You're
Mm-hmm.
trying to create Frankenstein monster, you know, uh, because face it, if Mitch go down, we need somebody to be the starting center of the Knicks, not somebody just on the job training, man. It just don't work. Not for championship aspirations. That's why when they signed him, I'm like, oh no. But then I was thinking maybe Doran, they're gonna go all in on Doran. Doran is gonna be the center of the future. So they're gonna, how Rose thinks.
Did you see Parrish is saying you missed his super chat on? I think he
Oh, did
said
I?
yeah, he's saying he had one you missed.
Oh shoot. Let me see here. My bad, Parrish. Oh yeah, you're right. My fault, my brother. You are correct. So Paris said Deuce was our second most clutch shooter in the playoffs. Tibbs will never play Kolick over two-way playoff performer like Deuce. Oh wow, he already threw him into Kimba Obi. Man,
Man,
that's
he's
tough
just
because you know what? If anything, I could tell you Kolick can do more right now in his first year with the Knicks than we ever saw Obi do. I don't want to say Kimba because Kimba had some nice moments. Don't forget Christmas Day. Listen, Kimba had game. It's just his game was in spurts because his body had too much deterioration, too much wear and tear on it, and he could only muster up certain moments where he could give you what you used to seeing from Kimba. It wasn't that he didn't have the skills; it's just that his body just wasn't cooperating anymore. So it is what it is with Kimba. But defense, yeah, he was definitely Ole. He was definitely a bull. He was a matador. He was out there. he wasn't playing no defense. So I hear you. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't want the narrative to get too crazy too, because once again, Tyler Kolick has not played not one NBA game as of yet. So let's give him a moment. Let's see what he can do. See what he
he's
got
just
going first.
they already label him as trash. You know what I mean?
I know. I
First of
mean,
all, they don't understand. He's not 6'1". He's 6'3". All right, he's a legit size for a point guard. He's tough as hell. And under Tom Thibodeau, he's going to play defense. The Knicks are doing their homework. They're not bringing anybody in here no more that can't play defense. I'm telling you,
right.
they're not. They don't need to. Why? Why is the cause? Why are you going to bring somebody in here to mess up stuff? All
And
right.
another thing too, Double A, is that I said this before. We always talk about this. Oh, the Knicks need to go get this guy. The Knicks need to go get this guy. But if you go get this guy, if you get Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, we ain't gonna have no defense. They're gonna be small, undersized. And I said, all right, but if you do that, then you got to figure out a way to round out the rest of the team. You can, if you're that small at the backcourt and you got defensive liabilities there, then that means my small forward got to play great defense. My power forward got to play great defense. My center got to play great defense. Just fill out the pieces, right? So maybe Tyler Kolick doesn't play the greatest defense, right? He can play like spotty defense and he can be a pest. But now you got Mikal Bridges on the team too. Like you created a better defensive infrastructure. The Knicks are better on defense. Like I just don't. We're reading too much into it, guys. There's no need to panic. We're okay. Let's just see how the young man plays out there. First off, let me tell you one thing. Tibs is going to look at effort. Okay, if he looks like he's trying out there on defense, if he's making some effort, Tibs is going to rock with him. But if he looks like he's just letting guys do whatever, he's only focused on offense, he's going to sit. Tibs will be quick to sit him. That's all I'm saying. Let's give the young man a chance and see what he does out there. And whatever defensive liabilities he has, it won't be as bad as you think because we're going to have so many other good defensive players out there on the court that are going to disguise some of that stuff. That's just the NBA. It's not a Knick thing. It's an NBA thing. There's plenty of your favorite players out there that don't play good defense. Kyrie Irving is horrible on defense. Look it up. Same.
And you know what? You know why guys like Tyler Kolick are being brought in? I'm going to tell you why. If we do resign Randle, or if we don't resign Randle, it's going to take at least close to what we would offer him in free agency to replace him. So you figure we're getting at that point in our salary structure because the Knicks handicap is, look, we got a good bench, but we're paying for it. Okay. Not many teams have somebody making $18 million coming off the bench, like Josh Hart. Not many teams has a player like Dante DiVincenzo making $13 million or so a year coming off the bench. So the Knicks have a lot of money vested in those two players in their bench. So it behooves them now that they got to fill in those other spots with low salary players that they can pay minimum money for the next few years. They had that in Colin. Why do you think that they signed him for almost 4 years? You've never seen a second round pick signed for that many years to a guaranteed contract. And the reason is because he's going to be on his team. He's going to be part of this team. Deuce McBride was in that role. Deuce McBride was in the high quality, low salary type player that we need to complement players that we're paying like DiVincenzo and Hart. That's the only way we can be able to do it. Otherwise, you got to trade DiVincenzo or Hart. You know what I mean? That's why right now we ain't signing Precious. We don't really have the money to sign Precious. You know what I mean? Because that gives us another big salary off the bench. We can't afford another $10 million off the bench, man. Our bench, we're going to have $50 million coming off. That limits our starters. So you got to look at players like that. And in that case, you're going to understand that Kolek is going to play a big role on his team. Don't be surprised in a year or two, and maybe sometimes this season, where you're going to see Kolek at point guard and Brunson at shooting guard. Because Kolek is going to be getting Brunson open and feeding Brunson. He'll be the facilitator. Now imagine somebody like him that can pass away he can, and you got Brunson as shooting guard, you got Bridges and OG in the game.
Right.
Man, that's fire, dude.
I just think we've got it's such a good problem to have, guys, because we've got guys on different sides of the ball that can do something that can help the team with what we're lacking. Right. And then if things get to a point where sometimes it's not even always about what you got going on, what the other team got. What if we go up against a Kyrie and a Luka backcourt or something and they're cooking us? You know what I mean? Deuce. You know, let's go. Deuce, OG, Macau. Let's run it at them. See how they get off now. Pause. But anyway.
Like you said, campaign and that. But I'm just really believing that the writing is on the wall. And if they do make a trade for upgrade at backup center, it's going to have to be Deuce or Kolek. And they know that. You know.
I'm glad that you mentioned. I know you probably guys did mention Payne before, but that was weird, that Ian Begley stuff, right? Like, I've never seen that backtrack. That's the first time I've seen a backtrack from Ian Begley, where he had said something about Kolek, and then he had to refract it and say that Campaign was actually the one that was going to get more minutes on the Knicks this season. That was a little weird. Have you guys mentioned that? But anyway.
No, we didn't talk about specifically this time around, but he did backtrack on that. Yeah, I guess it was a weird situation, because what he was trying to say, but I'm gonna let you continue. What he was trying to say is he was just talking specifically about depth chart, but not talking about the rotational minutes. And then when people heard that, they were like, "What?" And then you think also got Kolek playing more minutes than Deuce. And so people were freaking out. And so he was like, oh, okay, maybe the way it came out was wrong. I hear you. Continue.
Okay, so it was like a lost in translation type deal?
Yeah. He wasn't trying to say that, but he was basically trying to tell you that Tyler Kolek is seen as the backup point guard over Deuce. He's more suited to be a point guard, and when they need somebody to come in to facilitate, to do that type of stuff, Kolek is the guy, whereas they don't see Deuce in that. But it didn't mean that now Kolek is ahead of Deuce as far as minutes. It's just that on the depth chart as a point guard, he's the PG, the backup PG.
Okay, I see. Because Deuce is more looked at as a shooting guard who can handle point guard responsibilities. Right. And then actually Campaign is actually the backup point guard.
Right. Well, now he's here. Yeah.
And then Kolek is probably going to take the Deuce road, where there's probably going to be year 3 where we see him get minutes. this year or probably at the end of next year. Because we have Cam, because we have Campaign, we have Deuce. So those are already two guys that are in front of Kolek. To me, those guys are already in front of Kolek just because off experience. They've already been playing in the league. I mean, Cam's been in the league for what, 6-7 years already. So
yeah, about 6 years.
So to me, that's the way I would look at it right now. I just want to say something about the Mark Bryant. Is Mark Bryant his name, the coach?
Yeah, Mark Bryant.
You guys were. I mean, a lot of the thinking probably goes to players like Mitchell Robinson and Ariel Hawkporty, and that's like probably a given. But I actually think that he's going to be really good for Julius Randle. I think that he's probably going to help Julius Randle be more of a defensive big man. Try to help him get his defensive big man prowess up so that he can play that position when, because at the end of the day, guys, Mitchell Robinson is not going to be finishing games when it's a close game. It's going to be Julius Randle and OG Anunoby. At the 4, at the 5, however you want to do it, it's going to be those two guys. So there's going to be points in the game where Julius Randle is going to have to guard a Joel Embiid. He's going to have to guard a Jokic. He's going to have to guard whoever the top centers are in the league. OG's going to guard them, but he's going to have to be able to guard them too, and he's going to have to be able to guard up, box out, and get a rebound. I'm not sure that's his forte, because we know Julius Randle is like a power finesse, mid-range type guy, especially on the offensive end. I've seen him play really good on-ball defense. He's not the best perimeter defender in the world, but I've seen him play good perimeter on-ball defense. And if Mark Bryant could get Julius Randle to play post big man defense, that's going to elevate him to where we see Randle as a 4-5 now, because everybody knows that Randle is just a pure 4. He can't play the 3. He really can't play the 5. But this Mark Bryant guy might be able to take something out of him where he can be a 4-5 for us. And then that's dangerous. If Julius Randle is able to guard centers and able to step out on the perimeter and guard perimeter, you know what I'm saying? Get his defense up. I mean, we have a dangerous team.
Right.
So hopefully he comes and helps him out with that aspect of his game.
I'm just saying, why would we need Julius Randle to play the 5 when we have Mitchell Robinson? Why would Tom Thibodeau, being a defensive-minded coach, take our only rim protector out of the game? And I mean, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think more. I think, bro, that he's here for what Ryan said. That the Knicks right now are not having any success on a backup center, and he's here to work with these guys that we got, that trio of young centers, to try to see which one of them we can come up. Because really, if you look at it, with Julius Randle coming off his shoulder surgery and all that, bro, we don't need him banging with these big centers and stuff. You think about it. They wouldn't want it. I mean, and then you want to pay him a big salary or whatever, or a big extension. I don't think so. I think the whole thing.
So how many minutes? So how many minutes are you going to play Mitchell Robinson?
Mitchell Robinson will start. He'll play maybe 28 minutes.
28 minutes. Okay, that's a little rich for me. Okay, so he's definitely going to start because we need somebody to tip the ball at the beginning of the game, right? But the way things, to be honest with you, the NBA is played differently now. I can see him starting, no problem. But I can see him also leaving at the first timeout and us putting in Dante DiVincenzo as the 6th man. And then that's when you're going to play OG Anunoby and you're going to play Julius Randle, which are interchangeable at the 4 and 5. And that's what you're mostly going to see throughout the season, where that's going to be mostly the team that we're going to play, because we still don't even have a Precious. We can sign Precious. He can play some backup center, but the lineup that we really want to play is those 6-7 guys, which is Julius, the Villanova 4, Deuce McBride. So that's 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? Mitchell Robinson, to me, He's going to be starting because we don't have Isaiah Hartenstein anymore. But once the flow of the game starts going, I think it's just a more potent offense for us to have those guys in there. You know, sprinkle in a little Josh Hart, sprinkle in a little bit of McBride. DiVincenzo's going to open up the floor tremendously for us.
Right.
You can also take it easy with Julius, where you can play OG at the 5. You could play Josh Hart at the 4, Mikal Bridges at the 3. Mikal and OG are interchangeable. Mikal and Josh Hart are interchangeable, and have Brunson and DiVincenzo. You know, that's I think that's where it's like we are really dangerous. With Mitchell out there, we're not as dangerous. We're a good rebounding team. We're good defensively at the rim. But when you're going, you know, when you're playing Indiana Pacers, you saw how Indiana made Mitchell look a little bit, you know, he wasn't really himself. When you have to play the big guys, it's nice to have Mitchell Robinson.
Mitch didn't play against Indiana.
He had a couple of games in there.
No, he got hurt against the Sixers and never came back.
No, I remember. I remember.
He didn't play in.
Mitchell Robinson.
He played the first game. I think he played at least the first game.
No, he didn't play at all against Indiana.
Hmm.
His ankle was.
I remember the backup big man from Indiana, you know, just really out hustling Mitchell Robinson in that first game. And I think after that first game, they shut him down.
No, bro.
He did play the first game.
Yeah.
He did, but
he played 12 minutes.
10 minutes. Right. It was only like a little bit, but like, yeah, he was like, to Eddie C's point, at least on that, he was at least already, you know, cooked because he was injured. So it wasn't much.
Yeah. So let me just say this, and I agree with you, Eddie C, that you know, the Knicks need to kind of figure out what's the best course of action as far as having a full, you know, game of you know, not just defense, but also having a solid offensive team out there as well. But I will say that, you know, even playing against the Indiana series, to Sam's point, Mitchell Robinson was already cooked. Whatever happened in Philadelphia, Mitch was done. He was just trying to give it a go in that Indiana game. He was already, it was finished. But I do want to say, and this is not to you, this is to all my fellow Knicks fans, I just want us to not forget that, you know, prior to Mitch being out for 50 games, he was the starter on this team. And he was actually playing really well as the starter for the Knicks to start the season. I mean, we were even finally talking about him as being someone that could make an all-defensive team. Don't know if it was 1, 2, or 3, but we started to feel like, man, the way he's playing, he might actually be going for it. He looks really good out here. He was doing some stuff that we hadn't even seen him doing, getting high steals numbers and stuff, along with his rebounding. But we know that's what his game is. Like, it's not much more than that. And I will say that obviously we saw the difference with iHeart and what he can give to the team. But I just don't want us to forget that there's two sides of the game. And sometimes, even though we're not the traditional team and don't give what you see from a lot of other teams on the offensive end at certain points, that doesn't mean we can't impact the game. And really, we could possibly, you know, the Knicks are set up. And I'm not saying this is what they're going to do. I'm just saying they're set up to possibly do it. The Knicks are set up to possibly take teams out of the game in the first quarter, right? Because if we come out and our defense is that strong, we could shut teams' game plan down and get off to a run and have them playing from behind. But they also mentally, they already know, man, them Knicks are tough on defense. We're not getting good looks. We can't. That's already breaking them. And if we can get our game going, yeah, now we can switch it up and bring in more offensive pieces and kind of put the pedal to the metal. But we can start breaking teams in the first quarter with solid defense. It's all about the approach. You never know which approach Tibs wants to go with, but that's another way. Like, let's not forget the Detroit Pistons. And I'm not talking about the bad boy days. I'm talking about the you know, the days with what's his name? Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah,
Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton. Right? It was Rip Hamilton was on that team?
And Dumars.
If I'm not mistaken.
Tayshaun Prince, Rip
Tayshaun Prince. They used to lock guys down, man. And that was, you know, interesting team. But just saying, that's an example of what the Knicks could be looking to do. I don't know if they can, but they might be thinking about that. The other thing I wanted to say is I don't think 28 minutes is too bad, guys. It's a 48-minute basketball game. That means if Mitch plays 28, he lives 20 on the table. That's not bad. I think that's okay. That's manageable.
And the beauty of the team is that me personally, I would run it that way. I'm not saying that that's the way Tom's going to do it. I would run him the first 5 minutes and then bring in DiVincenzo. But there's also points in the game where Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges, that front court will be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have that team out there, you can play mix and match many different types of teams, which is an advantage that the New York Knicks have this year. You know what I'm saying? They can do a lot of different things. They can play small, they can play big, they can play defensive, they can play offensive. So, because last year we didn't have Julius. Now we have Julius. You know, at the end of the year. At the end of the year, we didn't have.
What I was trying to say, do you know how many 7-foot centers were drafted in this year's draft? And there's a reason for that. Do you know the average NBA team has 2 7-footers in playing significant minutes on each team? The reason for that, you got Luka Doncic at 6'7", 6'8", playing shooting guard. You know why? NBA is going big again. They're going big again, bro. We play a Julius Randle at center. We're going to get our asses handed to us, left and right. And we're going to take Julius Randle. Right now, we need Julius Randle to be just Julius Randle. I like Julius Randle the way he is. At power forward, especially coming off a shoulder injury, come in, play his 32 minutes a game. We can shift OG to back him up. We can shift Bridges to small forward that we bring in. You know, that's the way the minutes are going to flow. But you got to realize who our head coach is. Tom Thibodeau emphasizes guarding that rim first and foremost, even more than guarding the perimeter. If you notice, there's a lot of times we yelling, man, it's something other than the rim, because that's what he would worry about, guarding that rim. You know, forget the perimeter, and we're getting burnt on the perimeter. But I was saying this earlier, bro, just what you said. The way Mitch Robinson was playing defense in that Cleveland playoff series and then the beginning of last year, he turned the corner. Mitchell Robinson really turned the corner. He was playing smarter. He was getting into foul trouble. He was going for head fakes. Mitchell Robinson was maturing. This is why Mitchell Robinson at 28 minutes, I wouldn't worry about it. If he can play 8 minutes for the rest of the season for us and not miss games, we won't need anything. But the reason why I'm saying we need another center, and the reason why we're looking, because the team knows it. That's the way the NBA is going, bro. The NBA is going big. It's no more of that small ball, man. They see what happens in the playoffs, man. What happens? Teams will smash you. You know, look at the Celtics. Imagine us going against the Celtics with Julius Randle at center. You know, they got a 7'3" guy, power forward.
I mean, it depends. It depends. Like, I hear you. Overall, I would not go small ball with Julius Randle, but sometimes you're going to face a team that's their own. Like you're right. Most of the league is going big again, and the big man is starting to come back in the league, and the rules are starting to be catered towards that again. But there are some teams that unfortunately are a little small, and their second lineup is definitely small. And so because of the Knicks mix and match style, you might see a moment where Tibs wants to go small with Julius at the 5, only because the center that they're playing against is not it's not Embiid or Jokic or whatever. And actually, it could be Jokic, not for nothing. Jokic is not the greatest defender. So what if Tibs said, you know what, on the offensive side, on the defense side, I'm going to have to switch, right? But, what if he decided to do something funky like that and try to get Julius to go off against Jokic and put Jokic in a bad position or in foul trouble? Because that is Jokic's weakness. It's defense. We all know that. But it all depends on what team you're playing. But I hear you. I wouldn't, primarily, I would not want to do that. And also, not for nothing, the guy's coming back from shoulder injury. I don't want him really banging with the centers if he don't have to, because it's going to get tested. It's going to get tested with the power forwards, but centers, there's a reason why guys like Karl Anthony Towns don't want to play center. You don't want to be getting
It's
all,
I think I don't think is what I'm trying to say is I don't think is Julius playing the five. I think it's depends because you OG's been known to be to defend Cat. He defended Joel Embiid. There are possessions where you can do that sort of stuff and still have Julius out there to help you. So like he doesn't have to defend those guys.
right.
Everybody's interchangeable. Um, which to me is like the best part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't if I'm playing against Philadelphia and it's the start of the fourth quarter, I may put out a team like that. I may put him out on Joel Embiid in the start of the fourth quarter, even especially if he played the whole fourth quarter, the whole third quarter. I think,
You
right?
would
Mhm.
put
You start him off.
Julius Randle on Joel Embiid.
No, no. Listen, I said OG Anunoby. I said OG Anunoby on Joel Embiid.
Mm.
There are possessions where you can do that sort of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can also put Julius on in one possession. Mitchell Robinson is back there. If you have a Precious, you can put Precious out there. So it's not a written in stone type of thing. The thing is that you have these outlets where you can put players here, put players there, mix and match, have an amoeba type defense where the player doesn't know who's guarding them in which possession. And
Mm.
that's where Tom Thibodeau's defense might be, elevated in some sense, where we might see a wrinkle that we really hasn't seen before because he doesn't have an Isaiah Hartenstein to fall back on anymore. That player is not walking through the door. I don't think. I think it's very hard that we're going to get a player like Isaiah Hartenstein's mold, where he's a facilitating center who can defend the rim. There's not that many out there. I mean, we're looking at Capella, we're looking at these defensive type centers, which is what we already have.
That being
So it has
said,
to come from somewhere. The offensive output and the defensive IQ has to come from somewhere. And I know OG has defensive IQ, especially now with Mikal Bridges out there. He can even help if the center wants to post up. We have a long wing that can probably help, detract some of that.
Mm.
And he still has the ability to come back to his own man if the ball gets swung. So it's actually very beautiful. All the stuff
do
that we
you
can do.
do you think we have a stronger lineup than Mitchell Robinson at center, OG at small forward, Julius Randle at power forward, Mikal Bridges at shooting guard, and Jalen Brunson at point guard?
Um,
Do you think there's
I think
another
we have
lineup?
two. I think we have two strong lineups, which is the Julius OG Macau, and then we have the Mitchell Robinson OG Macau. I think those are two strong front courts
Mm.
who do different things, but at different points of the game, you can put those lineups out there, and they'll both be as productive. Because you
Hmm.
also have the room to play with at the guard position. With Brunson, with Josh, with you can put Josh at the 3 and then Mikal at the 2 with Brunson. You can put Mikal at the 3 and then DiVincenzo at the 2 with Brunson. You can put a campaign of Mikal Bridges at the 2, a Josh Hart at the 3, OG at the 4 with a Mitchell Robinson at the 5. There's a plethora of things that you can do.
But there's something to be said for continuity, for players to know what their role is and what they're expected of. And there's
Mhm.
no better lineup that we can put on the floor than Mitchell Robinson at center, OG at small forward, Julius Randle at power forward, Bridges at shooting guard, and Brunson at point guard. So why would we be in a hurry to defer from that when we got guys like Hart and DiVincenzo and Deuce to come in and give them the rest they need? But you got to have continuity, and you got to understand. You got to play to your strengths. And right now, our strength is defense. I think, like Ron, I really believe, like Ron said, that our defense is going to win a lot of games for us in the first quarter. We're going to
Mhm.
completely take teams out because of what you said, bro. The switching and watching exactly what you said. We can change. OG and Bridges are pretty much interchangeable to me. You know, before, I mean, when we were doing really good with just Randle and OG and not having Bridges, I mean, now we have Bridges, so you can't throw two great offensive players for us. Before we only had OG to guard anybody on the perimeter. Now we have Bridges and OG, and you put together that with Mitch. I mean, you start off with Mitch, Bridges, and OG on the floor defensively. You got a heck of a team, man.
I just think that we're both not wrong, but we thinking about it in two different ways.
Lost him.
You got lost?
No, yeah, he probably hit a button.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like you guys are thinking about it, just differently. Like you guys are pretty much saying the same thing. It's just he's looking at it one way and you're looking at it another way. Either way, like there's different lineups, and that's what we've been talking about since the acquisitions have been made, is that there's different lineups to where we can be successful, whether it's going to be interchangeable with these wings, having Randle play the 4, having OG play the 4. I even hinted at when we first got Bridges, he could play the 3 in spot minutes. So it's different ways in which we could, have our lineup face these different teams, but it's going to be different every night. And I feel like that's a good thing. Because you're not really commanding these guys to play a certain amount of minutes at so-and-so position. They can play depending on the matchup. And even like we saw last season, although he was rehabbing, Mitch can run with the second unit as well. So like he doesn't really have to play all starter minutes, and that's all and be all for him. Like I could see Mitch getting a few minutes, off the bench, running with that unit before he gets replaced. But all in all, I think it's a good problem to have.
Right.
Appreciate you, Double A.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I don't think that he was wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but it's just differently. I'm thinking about like the whole spectrum of the game, like in the ends of the game when we're playing the Boston Celtics. That's a big one for me. When we're playing the Boston Celtics, who is Julius Randle guarding? Is he guarding Tatum? Is that what we're going to be doing? Are we going to put Julius Randle? I mean, it's not that I don't think that he can do it. I just think that he can do it in spot minutes. I think is a bad word to say, but somewhat in spurts.
Right.
He can guard. Right. He can guard him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know who we really want guarding those two guys.
Right. Yeah. No,
I'd agree with you there. I'd agree with you on that. And then
you know what I'm saying?
At least with that specific matchup, like how they have it, a lot of the great teams have it. So Randle will still be starting, obviously, against the Celtics, but he'd be guarding somebody else like, Al Horford or something like that. They'd make sure to have OG and Bridges on the guys like Brown and Tatum so we don't get exposed there. So maybe he might even guard Porzingis. I mean, that would actually not be too bad for him if Porzingis stays out on the perimeter because Randle at least has the foot speed to go with him. Now, if he goes to the basket, that's a different issue because Kristaps is 7'3", but I think there, like you said, Eddie, there's just different ways of which we can guard the Celtics that we couldn't do last year. And in my opinion, even the Bucks, who posed a lot of issues for us, it seemed like we could never beat them in the regular season. I think we're even better suited for them now this season.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But, the other thing I want to say, and shout out to Jay Boogie. I see him. He's backstage. I'll bring him up in 2 seconds. The other thing that I want to say, too, is, we have a lot of flexibility, and we can do we got a lot of different lineups we can throw at a team. Ivory 10 had mentioned like a backcourt of Jalen, Brunson, and Kolek would be like a defensive nightmare but once again, it depends on who's out there when they're out there. If you got Jalen, Brunson, and Kolek out there, and then OG's at the small forward, Macau's at the small forward, and OG's at the power forward, and Mitchell Robinson is at the center. No, I mean, if these two dudes get beat off the dribble, defense is waiting. Like it's all over the place. Like they can collapse if they can't. If they can't collapse, Mitch is right there. Like that's the point of a Thibodeau defense, to have that rim protector. So I'm just saying, guys, it's not as bad as it seems because you got all of these other good defensive players on the team that can help out, and they play good help defense. Like you got that. Yeah, there's going to be a lot asked of OG and Macau. They're going to have to cheat a lot, all right? They're going to have to guard their guy on the perimeter and also cheat to the middle. But this is Tom Thibodeau's schemes. It's always been. That's nothing new. let me bring up Jay Boogie, but also I wanted to say that I wanted to shout out Kevin Bergen. Shout out to you, Kevin Bergen. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. My guy DJ Space Ghost is in the building. What up? Good to see you, brother. And shout out Ivory 10. Yeah, I don't think there was. If there's anybody else that crept in, I apologize, but you know it's all love. Good to see everybody. Thank y'all for being here. And also shout out to my people on X. If you're watching, please, you know, I know you guys can't like or do certain things on YouTube because you're on X, but if you could, you know, retweet the show or share the show with your people so that they know we on and we rocking, I would really appreciate that going forward. And shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said NBA Finals backup backcourt, Campaign and Bridges. Interesting. They're going to be doing their little two-step out there all the way to a championship. Hey, who knows? You never know. Like in the end, it's all about the Knicks, and as long as we win, I'm happy. Appreciate you, Paris. Thank you once again.
Unc, I got a few takes on Mark Bryant, but I'm gonna wait for you to bring Boogie up.
Okay, let me bring Boogie up now. Boogie!
Salute, Jay. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Salute. 3 capital S's. Bless, health, happiness to everybody. What's up to my brother E? What's good with you, Eddie? How you doing, man? Shout out to my little nephew right there, you know what I'm saying? Sam I am doing what he doing, man. And shout out to my brother, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Ron, doing what he do every day in life, you know what I'm saying? Not just on Saturday. Shout out to everybody that's viewing and watching, hoping everybody's in the greatest form of health. If anybody's going through anything, we don't pray that you go through it. We pray that you get through it, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody on this beautiful day of life, man. I hear y'all rocking and talking, man. You got to excuse me, man. And my sound effects be worry or whatever. I'm in the truck, pulled over on the truck stop right now. I needed to hop on and rock with y'all a few minutes, man. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all know what I feel right now. You know, what I'm feeling right now is, you know, when you dedicate yourself to hard work, things pay off for you in life, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? But in that word, I'm saying that shout out to Coach Tibs, man. Shout out to Tom. Well-deserved contract that he's gotten. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's any other coach that could have came here and did more with less and did the things that he did and put this organization where it need to be far as a culture being set inside our locker room than Tom. I'm glad this roster is in form for whereas Tom has a complete basketball roster. We had a nice roster yet last season, but we all know due to health situations, you know, it hindered us. Man, Tom deserves for this roster. He deserves to be here and have this roster for him to swing for the fences. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want anybody else to be in this position with the roster that we have right now. And I know some people, you know, they thought maybe we switch Tom out, you know, and all that then there. But that man deserves to be right there doing what he's doing. You know, also with Coach Tibbs, man, yo, shout out to our office, man. Mr. Leon Rose. You know, when he had his first meeting with James Dolan and he was trying to get this job, you know, I know he went in there with a pair of Timbs because what he did was put this New York Knicks on the straight construction and switch and change this whole thing around. So, you know, Leon is not missing on anything that he's doing. He's batting 1,000 back-to-back, you know, trade deadline. Matter of fact, back-to-back-to-back. Let's do 3 straight trades that he has done. Let's start with Derrick Rose. That was a banger that he did to help turn this team around. Then he come back, you know what I'm saying, with Josh Hart. And then he come back with OG. So I'm lining this up to let everybody know we're not done yet. We got more clips to let off. Everybody else is done. Philly is done. They can't do nothing else. Boston is done. They can't do nothing else. The Pacers are done. They can't do nothing else. We still got at least 2 more moves that we can do amongst this roster. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need, a plan B, plan C. We already know what we got going on with plan A is right here, right now. So if things ain't working out, you know, we got a plan B and a plan C to move forward, to change and do everything else where everybody else, they stagnated. They can't do anything else amongst their roster, you know. So shout out to the office, Mr. Leon Rose. Shout out to Tom, you know, doing what he's doing for the organization. Shout out, now we got 2 new real assistant coaches on the side, Maurice Cheeks and Mark Bryant. They're adding pieces where they need to be pieces. This is a grown man's team this year that we have. It's no kidding and joking around with what we got. Everybody know what's at stake. Everybody know what we want. Everybody wants to be in the championship. And trust and believe, the team is in championship mode. Everybody is trying to get right. Everybody's trying to get healthy. Everybody's going to work on chemistry. Everybody's going to work on playing together and putting that one thing in gold common. And that's that championship, that parade to be set off in New York City. Shout out to, to Jalen Brunson. Man, what he did, man, I've been saying he was going to do this for 2 years because people, you can have all the money that you want, but if you don't know what to do with the money, you can still be miserable. This guy don't want money. This guy wants, legacy. And he's putting legacy in front of everything. Do what we need to do to solidify this roster. I can get mine on the back end. You know what I'm saying? And that says a lot. You know how big it is? You know how many guys he would jump ship over if he had bring a championship? All that Paul Pierce you talking and everything. Jalen Brunson gets a championship. He's bigger. He has a bigger career than Paul Pierce. Let's talk about, being high school Gatorade player. Let's talk about National Player of the Year. Let's talk about going back to back. Yeah, he's already all NBA. Yeah, he's already an all-star. And you talking about how he shouldn't turn down this money, get the money. Man, dude is looking at this as a whole other different, bigger picture. Like, you ain't turned down some less money so you can put together Garnett and Ray Allen and all that. But now what we doing, you mad because you lost your little bet and had to put on your jersey. I don't know if you put it on yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you did it. But I got a video I'm going to come out, you know what I'm saying? I'm burning that 34. I don't care nothing about the Celtics. I don't care nothing about the Sixers. I don't care nothing. All of y'all in the way. And right now, it's a New York Knicks thing, man. I'm so happy for the squad. I'm happy for the organization. I'm happy for the coaching staff. I'm happy for the culture. I'm happy for the fan base. I'm happy for the podcast. I'm happy for the Twitters and everybody that's representing this orange and blue wherever you at. If you over in somewhere in another country, and like Ron said, if you're not unable, you know what I'm saying, to share or like or whatever, we appreciate you still watching, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the orange and blue love that we get right now. But tune in, stay tuned, because we're not done yet. Championship is on its way, and I'm calling it out in less than 2 years. Less than 2 years. That means we got this season and next year. Less than 2 years, we're going to be having a parade celebrating this New York Knicks thing. And all those, you know what I'm saying, that been through the mud and been through the tough times and everything, they're going to really, really have something to say, man. Shut down the YouTubes, man. Shut down the Twitters, man. Open up, orange and blue. Open up, man. Man, I love all y'all, man. I love all y'all.
Nice. Well, the sound effects have.
That's how J Boogie does it, man. Appreciate you, bro. Always, man. Let's let me get over to Sam and his a couple of his Mark Bryant takes, and then we're gonna end off with Tibs talk real quick, and then we'll play that J Boogie joint and we get up out of here. But go ahead, my brother Sam.
Yeah, so on Mark Bryant, as soon as I saw the name, it instantly hit me because I'm like, okay, this is one of the dudes where I was a kid growing up, and obviously he's older than me, so I'm like, okay, I don't know who this guy is. But then I think about it, and I'm like, okay, my pops used to talk to me about him, Doc Rivers, all these guys, because my dad is from Memphis, but they would always come up over the summers and stay with his dad in the Chicago area. So he grew up playing against these guys. So like Mark Bryant was a name that stood out to me where I'm like, okay, I remember this guy. Vincent Askew, guys of that nature. So like my dad grew up playing against these guys, but I also remember, and this also hit me too, is like Mark Bryant was a guy who, when Dwight Howard, which is one of Atlanta's most, renowned NBA players of recent, he was there with Dwight Howard in Orlando. He was there with DeAndre Ayton, as you guys just mentioned, with Detroit. He was there with Steven Adams when he first got to OKC. And I don't know if guys remember, but when OKC drafted Steven Adams, nobody thought he would become the player he would when they had those finalized years with Russell Westbrook, and he was being very effective on that roster. And, pretty much Monty Williams credited Mark Bryant and said, Steven Adams wouldn't be the player he was if it wasn't for Mark Bryant. And Dwight Howard, I don't know how much credit he had to him, but he was definitely there when Dwight Howard first got to Orlando. So he obviously had to help with the development of Dwight Howard in those early Orlando years. And we definitely know that there's commentary out. DeAndre Ayton himself has said that, for Mark Bryant, he wouldn't be as much of an enforcer as he is when it comes to, in the game. Because I know for DeAndre Ayton, at least when he first got into the years, a lot of people questioned his effort on the defensive end. So, Mark Bryant has something to do with his development. So I'm kind of, saying all this to say, as I pointed out earlier, I kind of feel that the hire of Mark Bryant, even if we don't get another guy, is okay, get in there with the gym with these guys like Mitchell Robinson, get in there with Jericho Sims, Ariel Horporty, see what they've got, and see what he can do with those guys. Because if he's done something with Steven Adams, I have faith and belief that he can do something with Mitchell Robinson. Steven Adams, when he first came into the league, was much more raw of a prospect than Mitchell Robinson is currently as an NBA player. So I'm hopeful to see what Mark Bryant does with these bigs on the team. And to even Eddie's point, I think he could even, show Julius Randle a thing or two on defensive end, but more so he's brought in for the centers, in my opinion. But I'm interested to see what Mark Bryant does.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. That's I mean, like I said, I was really pleasantly surprised to see how he's carved out a coaching career for himself. I didn't realize you sometimes you just don't pay attention to assistant coaches and their roles, especially on different teams. So it was really nice to hear that he's been around and been working great with the bigs around the league. So shout out to him. I'm glad we got him, and hopefully it translates with our guys. Shout out to 914's finest. Always good to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. He said the question is who's guarding Randle. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's guarding him, especially with all this influx of nice talent we got on this team. We just got to see how the Knicks make it work, how Tom Thibodeau makes it work, and hopefully he's willing to try different things if certain things don't work. So we'll see what happens. But so I just want to get out of here. Well, the last topic is just going back to Tibs. We talked about Tibs a little bit before, but I just want to bring this up. I mean, obviously you guys all know this by now. I've referred to it on a short, but once again, the New York Knicks, they did extend Tom Thibodeau, New York coach, Knicks Coach Tom Thibodeau. Let me read that again. ESPN sources: New York Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau has agreed on a 3-year contract extension that'll take him through the 2027-28 season, a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year. Thibodeau has led the Knicks to consecutive conference semifinal berths. All right. So that's our Tom Thibodeau, signed up for another 3 years to keep that same consistency, continuity going. He has definitely changed the culture here in New York. We applaud him. We appreciate him. It took us a little while to kind of get used to his style. It took him a little while to be a little bit more open to changing his rotation and in trying different things. But right now, I think we're in a really good spot. It's working together nicely, and hopefully it'll continue. So that being said, my whole thing with now that it's done, now the pressure starts. Because even though it's so crazy how you could be a 2-time Coach of the Year, have a team that won 50 games, second seed, made it to this, the second round with all these injuries, but yet you are on the hot seat. That's right, folks. Tom Thibodeau is on a hot seat. Not necessarily a hot seat that no matter what he does, he's going to get fired. It's more of we're watching you to see if now that we've given you all these pieces, are you the right guy to get us to the next level? And that's unfortunately something Tibs is going to have to deal with. It's something that's followed him for his whole career. It was always Tibs is a great regular season coach, but how can he do in the playoffs? And he struggled at some points at different stops. Now, with this Knicks team, he has never had a Knicks team as good as he got last year, and he has never had a Knicks team as good as this year, right? So you got to give him a wait and see approach. Maybe this is all he needed. Maybe bringing in pieces that fit his system and also giving him some dynamic offense, is all Tibs really needed. And with everybody healthy, I think he can do some really good work, but it doesn't change the fact that Leon Rose, I don't care how good of friends they are, it's a business, and James Dolan is watching to see if they have all the right things in order for us to try to win a championship. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Eddie C, I'll start with you. How do you feel? Do you think that not only did it's great that Tom Thibodeau got this extension, but he also put himself on the hot seat. It's time to, put up a shut up. Oh, Eddie C, you there? Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I think it's great. I think it's great that he signed his contract. I think this is it. Like, this is the team. Like Boogie said, it's this year, next year, and the third year is a little dicey. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's like hot seat esque, but he does have pressure on him to win a championship now. The Knicks gave up the draft picks to get the player that they wanted. So now they don't have that in their back pocket, because remember, everything was, we're going to get that guy. We're going to get that guy. Wait till we get that guy. Now we got the guy. So now it's put up or shut up. So he's going to have to bring it home for us. Everybody on the team is going to have to bring it home for us. And I think, man, I don't want to even go there, bro, because I'm a true orange and blue guy, man, since I've been a little kid, bro. I remember crying as a child, losing to Reggie Miller and stuff, and I don't want to go through that as an old man. But I just wish that it's gonna be this time around. You know what I'm saying? I wish it's within this 3-year window that all these guys are here. I wish this is the group that does it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm just glad that he got the contract. Everybody's in tow. Everybody's getting the contracts signed. All the inking is done. You know what I'm saying? All we can do now is tinker, here and there, do a little details around the edges. But for now, this is what it is. And like, the number hasn't even come out. I'm not even sure if he took a little less to get somebody like Mark Bryant in the door, because it seems like that's a theme for us. Like, somebody, it's a selfless theme where, you know what I'm saying, we want to better everything. How we do that, and most of the time it's financially, how we can take a little less to get a little more somewhere else. And this Mark Bryant guy, man, I think this is probably the second best acquisition for the Knicks this year, obviously behind Bridges. I think he's going to be top notch for us. Take over the Johnny Bryant role, because we don't need a Johnny Bryant to help the guards anymore as much. Now we need to help the big guys in tow. And so, it's I think it's just like it's coming all into plan. That's why I don't even come on podcasts no more, bro, because I don't have I have nobody to fight with no more, man. The fighting has already been done. You know what I'm saying? These guys have already done everything, where everybody's like, all the naysayers, are now on the bandwagon and saying, oh, so there's nobody to go back and forth with. So
I hear you.
But I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
No, it's a good time. It's definitely a good time. And we'll see, because, that's the other thing with Johnny Bryant departing. We don't know who's going to takes that role as the associate head coach. I think most likely Daddy Brunson gets promoted, but I don't know. I feel like he was kind of already in that role to begin with. So maybe he becomes that guy, or maybe they look to promote Dice Yoshimoto. I don't know about Dice. I mean, not that I don't have any issues with him. I like Dice, but I'm saying I think that Daddy Brunson has been more on the forefront, so he might get the nod. And then what makes it interesting to me is, does that mean Othello Harrington doesn't have a job anymore? Because Othello Harrington was the big man coach, but now obviously Mark Bryant is a well-renowned big man coach in the league. So are they both here? I don't know. We'll see. It's all Knicks got 45,000 coaches over there. I don't know. So we'll see.
I don't know if it's something where you got to take somebody out to put somebody in, like, but because Johnny Bryant left. Remember, like, they said that Mo Cheeks wasn't in to replace Bryant, but since Bryant left, they brung in Mark. Johnny Bryant left, they brung in Mark Bryant. So both have the same last name. But Yashimoto might be that guy that gets up all the time. You know how Johnny Bryant used to do, and just tell Tom, this guy's got 4 fouls, or this guy's got this, and this guy, have that role where he's going back and forth and relaying messages to Tom Thibodeau.
That's a good
instead
point,
of
because
having Daddy Brunson.
I don't know if Daddy Brunson wants to do that role. So they might give it to Dice. You're right. That's actually a good point. Good point. Let me get over to Jay Boogie, see what his thoughts are. First off, let me check and see if my guy is is even rocking back there. Wiz, you good?
Yo, I'm good, man. I'm trying to make sure you guys don't see me without, my shirt on, so you guys don't get too excited.
Oh, well, I tell you, I like what you got going on. You've never looked better than me. So keep it like this every time you come on. This is perfect. Let me get over to Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie, what's your thoughts on is the pressure now on Tibs to get it done?
I don't think he's in a hot seat. I think he's in a deserved seat. I think he's where he's supposed to be at. That's for the you know what I'm saying, the fans to feel how they feel. I think he's, sitting right where he's supposed to be at, was where he's earned and what he's deserved. He's putting in the work. He's put in all the work, and he's still putting in the work. He's well respected by the New York Knicks basketball team. Forget everybody else, how they feel, what they think about, how he coaches style, whatever it is. When the guys love you, it's nothing you can say about them. The guys love him. You don't see him plenty times. Brunson come out the game. You know what I'm saying? He reaches his hand out give me some dap, man. Give me some dap. You know what I'm saying? He gives him some dap. He's well deserving to be where he's at. When Boston won the championship, and out of all the guys that spoke, the one that stood out to me more than anything was Derek White. And his actual words is, you know what I'm saying, when they asked him, how do you feel about being a champion? Y'all champions now. And his actual words was, we did all the proper steps to be where we're at today. And when he said that, I look back at our organization over the last few years, and I see that we've been putting in and taking the proper steps, heading in the right direction, step by step. Becoming a champion doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't happen. And you have to first want it, and then you have to make sure you're doing the work to pursue it. And that's what this team is, and it's led by Tom. I'm happy for Tom. There's not another guy that I want to see win a championship, you know what I'm saying, than Tom, especially for the New York Knicks. He's put the work in, man. And all across the board, man, we got so many things going on as far as this team, man. I hear about all the other guys, other teams, big threes and this, that. But I think we got like a big 6, a big 7, something like that. We also might be the only team that we got a 3 set of dynamic duels. We got Julius and Brunson. We got them wing killers, OG and Bridges. And then we got them bench killers, with Josh and Dante. I don't think there's another team that has a triple threat dynamic duel in the league. So I don't care what Philly building and nobody else is building. I know what we have done. And the thing about us, what we have done, we're not finished yet. And more importantly, them guys know that. They're not comfortable. They're not relaxing. Them guys know they have more work to do. Yeah, it's cool. We all getting together and playing together. That don't mean nothing. They all know a championship in New York City is bigger than any other sport. It's bigger than hockey. It's bigger than baseball. It's bigger than football. Even though football might be the biggest known sport, hockey got the biggest trophy. But that New York Knicks trophy will be much bigger than any other trophy or any other celebration it is in any other sports. Bigger than Olympics. Bigger than Olympics. Let us get in there. You talking about 21 Bridges? My man chat with me. He's shut him down. Shut him down. Shit. We're going to shut all them Bridges down. Shut all of them down.
I like it. I like it. And let me just say, Nick Yak, his extension starts next year and fans think he might get fired. That's not what I said. What I said to you was the organization. They're looking at him like we put together the pieces for you. Now it's on you to get it done. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily he has to win the championship this year, but the team has to continue to evolve, especially if healthy. Now, if not healthy, that's a whole nother thing. But if healthy, the team has to get back to where they were at least, and get to the Eastern Conference Finals and try to make a play at this. This is what they're building towards. It's not about the fans. I don't sign Tom Thibodeau's check. I didn't say I'm putting him on the hot seat. I didn't say you're putting him on the hot seat. I said the organization, the business, Leon Rose and James Dolan. And say whatever the hell you want to say about, Leon Rose is his friend. They signed 4 years, 10. No, it's 3 years. But who cuts Leon Rose's checks? James Dolan. James Dolan ain't friends with nobody. He's a businessman, okay? Now, if James Dolan is happy with the product and he feels like us going however far we go this year is a great step in the right direction, fine. But if something crazy happens and the Knicks are healthy and the Knicks get knocked out in the first round, I don't think James Dolan is going to look at that and like, oh, no, it's okay. It's Tibs. It's fine. Leon Rose, yeah, it's okay. He's going to look at it and like, okay, well, why? What's going on here? We should be, if anything, we got to continue to go forward, not backwards. I'm just saying. I'm not saying any of that's going to happen. I'm just telling you from my opinion that one of the things that's always followed Tibs is he's a great regular season coach, but he kind of panicked in the playoffs. Sometimes he goes back into his bad rotations and he overthinks things. Now, I'm saying that's the knock on Tibs. However, the Tibs I know in the recent years, Tibs is not the same guy. Tibs is better at rotations. Tibs is better at making plays and coming up with different things. So I don't think he really has to worry about it. I'm just saying that's something that's followed him. So, but I appreciate you, Nick Yak. Thank you for your comments. But
hey, Ron, real quick, I just want to shout you out, man. Appreciate you always, my brother. Love you to the fullest, and everybody else, man. Shout out to everybody viewing and watching. I'm gonna get back on the road, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a time span whereas I got to get to where I need to be going so I can offload, you know what I'm saying? So I can get home, you know what I'm saying? And be like you guys, But, just know that, man, I appreciate everybody. I love everybody that support Jay Boogie. I love and everything that I do. Just know that I do it for you guys. I do it for you guys, not for the glory of the fame. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jalen Brunson. It's not for the glory and fame. All that's going to come about. We try to do historical things over here, man. But I'm going to still be around listening and everything. I'm going to shield off, and mute. You know what I'm saying? It's continue on listen. But I'm getting ready, put it in gear and get back on this highway. All right?
All right, my brother. Appreciate
you,
you, bro.
Boogie. Be safe.
We're gonna play your joint in the next 5 minutes because we're not in the off season. We in the on season. That's right.
That's right. It's the on season, man. Everybody, when you think basketball is all with, man, you see that work Leon putting in, man. That hard work, man. Every day you sitting there waiting, wondering what Leon. He working. It's the on season. Ain't no days off, breaks off, none of that. It's the on season, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my brother. All right, so let me get over to Wiz, and then I'll get to my final words. Wiz, thank you for joining us. What's your thoughts, brother? You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We talked about Tibs, we talking about Mark Bryant, we talking about Julius, but whatever you want to talk about, bro, or not talk about, Wiz, because you're on mute. Oh, Wiz, finally jump on the show. Don't got no camera. Ain't talking, you know what I mean? All right.
So it's a false hope.
Yep. Moving along. Eddie C, your final words and thoughts, brother?
Man, I'm just waiting for maybe one more move. I'm waiting to see what this Precious Achiuwa thing is about because that's another shoe that hasn't dropped. Either we're going to resign Precious Achiuwa or we're signing and trading Precious Achiuwa. So, that part is still the unknown, and I'm just waiting for that to come to fruition and then, see where we go from there, how the team's going to be looking because that can be something that switch things up. Today we have a take, then tomorrow we might have another. So I just want to see where that's going to go. And besides that, just a great offseason from the Knicks, from coaching staff to players to drafting. Just a phenomenal job this season of getting where they want to be, how close to the championship as they want to be.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, I'm rocking. Sam, your thoughts, my brother? Final words.
So as always, peace and blessings to you, Ron, the panel, and the chat. Uh, you know, health, wealth, and prosperity to everybody. In the society that we live in, it's important to make sure you keep the things that you deem important to you as a major key in life for success and just peace of mind moving forward. As far as this Knicks team go, I think that this is Tibs' window. And this is the team's window. It's going to be probably around 3 to 4 years. So, in my opinion, honestly, I think this is Tibs' most complete roster that he's ever coached, being a head coach. And this is going off of even the Bulls team, the Timberwolves team, pretty much any other team that he's head coached on. I think this is the most complete. So I'm interested to see what he does. I'm interested to see how these players, own and operate the court. With this being one of the most complete teams we've seen in quite some time, Monk. I think this team is even more, deeper than that 2012-2013 team we had with Melo. I think you can make that argument. So, I'm interested to see how we go. We've got a lot of potential with this roster, barring health. As I say, health is always the thing, but barring health, I think this team could compete for a championship next year. I'm interested to see how it goes. And, yeah, peace and blessings to you guys. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, man. You as well, man. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Wiz, are you back? Well, Wiz, you've never sounded better. You've never looked better. I appreciate you. Oh, man. It's okay, Wiz. You get them next time, buddy. You get them next time. So anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody for continuing to support the show, continuing to support me and John and Jose with everything we got going on, whatever we do. I thank everybody. I also want to say once again, thank you guys to for continuing to be vocal and put your thoughts in the chat. You know what I mean? So it's not always easy to put yourself out there, put your opinions out there. You don't know if people agree with you or if they disagree, and do you want to go back and forth? And it takes a little courage to go out and put your thoughts out there, because like I said, you never know how they're going to be received, and it obviously takes a lot of courage and comfortability to be able to jump on a panel and chop it up and show your face and talk about stuff. Because people always have something to say. So I appreciate everybody who has joined me, who has done that. Thank you, Eddie C. Thank you, my guy Sam. Appreciate you, Wiz, and for whatever you've done. Shout out to my guy Jay Boogie. Shout out to my brother Double A. Thank you guys as always. And once again, I want to shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for all the super chats, Paris Duggar and whoever else may have contributed. Thank you so much. And once again, I don't know, like, nothing's for certain, but as long as everything works out and there's no issues, once again, guys, I want you all to make sure you set your calendars for Monday night at 9 p.m. SKF Weekly with myself and John. Once again, we're gonna have a really special guest, one of my favorite guests to possibly have. As long as everything works out okay, then the show will go on. But if anything changes, then I'll update you guys and let you guys know. But like I said, you'll see me start promoting that later tonight or early tomorrow morning. And yeah, so without further ado, let's wrap up this show and get into this J Boogie joint. That's right. We not in the off season. We in the on season, y'all. So first off, shout out to J Boogie for always doing his thing, giving us words of wisdom and encouragement, bigging up our Knicks team and blessing us with some fire. Hopefully this plays right out the gate. If not, I'll have to switch it, but it's no big deal. So once again, thank you guys. I'm going to go straight off of J Boogie right into the outro. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday. And you know what? Remember, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans will be back again, whether it be on Saturdays 11:30 for No Ledge, Mondays at 9 p.m. for SKF Weekly, or throughout the week if something pops up. Take care, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.
Hey, yo, Boogie, they think when the season is over, the office don't put in that work. But we handling our business. Trades, drafts, signings. Hey, yo, God the God, talk to the people.
By any means necessary, Leon Rose stay working. Grind don't stop like bad breaks. Office stay working 24/7, that's all night and day. There is no tomorrow, there is right away. No time off this on season. No time off this on season. No time off this on season. No time off this on season.
I told Leon and West this my on season at the summer league, new season after the summer league. I'm feeling good with the squad that's coming this year, but still I'm healing up from the wounds that short as last year. You know my name, J Boogs, I'm known to set it straight. Like Coach Tib at the games, he known to watch tape. The only coach at the games that never sit down with the hair comb to the side, swag from Midtown. The truth get told every time when I speak. Salute. 3 capital S's every time, that's me. That's me. When Rob died from the shy, you know I was sick. Amon Shepard, damn, I lost another Nick. I'm paraphrasing the sleeve on with this movie talk. That Brunson footwork look like Mike when he moonwalk. That Nick logo, my fashion colors, they orange blue. This episode called Fred Catch and Shoot. We're so different, never can be the same. Dexter Henry with the Flow Podcast, New York, we got game. My no looks in the booth, they assist you. Let it travel like Scott Foster, blowing this whistle. Nick Challenge successful. Damn, I got crazy bars. That left hand on the rim poster, John Starks. I'm reservating the finals coming next June. Club quarters, already I got 2 rooms.
By any means necessary, Leon Rose stay working. Grind don't stop like bad breaks. Office stay working 24/7, that's all night and day. There is no tomorrow, there is right away. No time off this on season. 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 No time.
See, when y'all think he ain't working, all of a sudden he come with that boom. That's that office work. That's why we call this the on season. It's time to get them roses up. Get them Leon Roses up. 24-25.
By any means necessary, Leon Rose stay working. Grind don't stop like bad breaks. Office stay working.